Okay.
We already have the comment of the week.
Yes, we have started a new thing called the comment of the week, and Angi, you are the winner.
Okay. We just started that like 60 seconds ago.
Yes, because we all just laughed our head off here. I mean, even Cat's Paw downstairs was laughing.
Yeah, we could hear it all the way up here.
Yeah, so
oh my God.
So Angi, congratulations, you win.
Yeah. All right. So what do you win? Exemption from Patina's wrath.
Yes. Yeah. We have some new folks.
I see a bunch of new folks.
Yes.
I see Buki. Hi, Buki. Who else do we see? Foxy22. Have you been here before? Welcome welcome back, or welcome as appropriate.
Ninja Rabbit, is that new?
I think Ninja Rabbit may be new.
Yes.
Hello, Ninja. Hello, I guess I'm a brony now. I guess you are.
Yes.
Nard Dog. I think we've seen Nard Dog before, but maybe not. So welcome back.
If it's your first time, welcome. If not, welcome back again.
Who else we got here? Snivian Moon.
Snivian's new.
Okay, well, cool. Well, welcome. I'm looking at all you guys right over there. You're on a big screen.
Yep.
Yeah, so, and to everybody else, welcome back. Yeah.
Yes. For new folks, I'm Baron, and this is Caradwin, my producer.
Yep. So he's Baron, I'm not.
Yep, so we do this every other Saturday.
Outstanding. So, yeah, so welcome back. The normal show from 2 weeks ago, of course, that was, well, BabsCon.
Yeah.
And we'll be getting the full BabsCon report from this gentleman here.
Yes, I'll be giving you my lowdown.
Right. And in the meantime, I hear the squeaking and grinding of wheels, and that would be the
smoke coming out my ears.
Yeah, well, that also from the kitchen.
Yes.
Yeah, all that smoke. That was Brian searing the meat for the.
I'm going to move this over here because I'm going to need space for my drink when it's finally assembled.
You got it. Which comes to what the hell are we making tonight? We are making a Barbados Sunset here. There's your job.
Oh boy, I get to hold the glass.
Yeah, well, you get to empty the glass too.
For folks that are new, this is kind of a tradition that's formed with us where at the start of the show, we make a cocktail.
Yeah, because Baron's brain works best when it is lubricated. And like I said, we need an oxygen-hydrogen. Throw that over there.
Yeah.
Oxygen-hydrogen group to make sure that all the creative juices are flowing unimpeded. Tonight we are making a Barbados Sunrise. It's like a tequila sunrise, except it's made with rum. And so what we do is we start off with let's start off with a good splash of white rum.
Bacardi.
Stay in school, kids.
Yes.
And then we have some OJ.
Fresh squeezed OJ.
Yep, I have an overachieving orange tree in my backyard, so it's time that it earns its keep. There we go. About that much.
Your daily dose of vitamin C.
Yeah, about that much. Okay, and then we have blue. This is pronounced curacao. Even with it's got a little squiggly thing on the bottom to see it's pronounced curacao. And we
Is
gently,
it orange liqueur?
Yep, bitter orange. There we go. Oh, isn't that pretty? There we go. And then we have some.
It's like your own lava lamp.
Yeah, pretty much. We have some grenadine, which is nice and dense, which means that will go to the bottom. Now I'm curious. Stay in milk, drink your drugs, don't do school. And of course, we have to have the maraschino cherry.
Angi, you're in the zone tonight.
You are. These are the best maraschino cherries in the history of anything. They're called Luxardos. They're $20 a jar, but they're worth it. So there, and then some of this ultra heavy. God, look at how thick and heavy that is. Ow.
Yep.
Nom, 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 nom. I'm not supposed to do that. I'm on Atkins. I don't care. And, of course, the garnish.
Yes.
Wait.
Because it was.
Yeah, just throw it on top because otherwise it's going to drip on you.
Yeah, it's going to drip all in my hand.
Yeah.
We can't have that. Can't getting orange juice on.
Yeah, that's the wrong way to get sticky from Baron's art. Wait, what?
We'll be dealing with that in just a little bit. Well, thank you, sir.
There you
go.
go.
Very much.
Barbados Sunrise. All right. So while Baron gives his approval or not, it needs more of, and it needs less of.
Perfect, sir. You get a tip.
Yeah. Thud. Yeah, buy low, sell high.
Yeah. Plastics.
Right. Yeah, perfect. So, say buy Apple at 3 in 1984.
Gerdwin, are you new? If so, welcome.
Oh, where do we have that? Yeah,
Red one, right below generic avatar.
Red
right
Win,
there.
yeah, okay. Yeah, I'll say, your name is almost perfect, yeah.
Yes.
All right. So, what the hell are we going to do tonight? We'll get to that after we see what the hell have you been up to.
Slideshow time, folks.
It is time for some art. So, I'm going to reach over here and grab this thing right here, and I'm going to say art. Okay, starting off with, say, not so much the naughty nurse, but the way nurses are in the real world.
Yes, this actually was a commission for a gentleman out of Great Britain. And it's kind of interesting because when I shipped it to him, it is actually going to a heart center.
Oh, it's going to go up on their wall?
Yeah, apparently it sounds like it's basically going to somewhere in Hawick, England, which is right on the Scottish borders.
Very
and
nice.
It's going to their
Just
heart
south of
center.
Berwick, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
So it was very nice. First time I worked with the client was very happy, and I'm hoping to be able to. And we've got Bubble Lee in the chat, folks. Everyone say hi to Bubble Lee. Okay.
Howdy, howdy.
All right.
So, sticking on the nurse theme. Let's start with how about.
Well, this is Sweetie Belle. I mean, Sweetie Belle is just so sweet and adorable, and she wants to give you a shot. That's all it is. And after you have your shot, you'll get a sucker.
Yep. So is that a hypo or a knitting needle?
Or a turkey baster.
Yeah, railroad spike. Yeah, she's nice. A little bit less sympathy here.
Yes, as Scootaloo puts it, I'll be honest with you, this thing isn't getting any warmer or any smaller.
Yeah. Where is that gonna go? Think again.
Ignorance is bliss sometimes.
Yeah, yeah. Actually, the first one of this series, which was Apple Bloom, was in last show. So we put all three of them together. Which one is your guys' favorite? We'll give you a few seconds here just to
put in your votes. Just so you know, Apple Bloom is already available for sale on the Smudge Marks and Engel Works eShop. You can see a link actually down in the bottom around here.
Yeah.
The other two will be going up for sale this next Friday at 6 p.m. Pacific time.
Outstanding. So, so make sure you get you some. You hit a milestone too.
Yes, I hit 1,100 followers on Twitter, and of course, up to 1,000, it was Patina and Fluttershy who were doing all the milestone celebrations. Patina decided to give Fluttershy kind of a break, and she wanted to take a break herself, and she thought there was a lot of other good talent out there that she could tap into. So for a while now, the upcoming series of milestones, those will all be done by basically other characters. So we have Octavia and Vinyl, basically helping celebrate my 1,100th follower. And then it was some follow-up from that, too.
Yeah, indeed. I mean, what do you do with a bathtub full of vanilla pudding?
You put ponies into it.
Yeah, well. Yeah, that's a little bit on the high calorie side, but hey, who the heck needs adrenal glands and a pancreas anyway?
And Patina paid them well enough so that they could clean themselves up, and they could afford a cleaning service to come clean the bathroom afterwards.
Yeah, we'll say that's one. Say vanilla pudding. Well, that's one form of dessert. Well, of course, another type might be I don't know, a popsicle.
Oh yeah, a popsicle. Exactly.
Yeah.
Fluttershy's just sitting here enjoying a popsicle. I mean, I'm not quite certain what other people are thinking. I mean, Discord seems to be having some crazy ideas in his head, but I mean,
I don't think he has any ideas in his head. I think we see a flat line here.
Ah, okay, but I mean, she's just saying a popsicle. That's all.
Yeah, that's all. I don't know what you guys are thinking.
Yeah, geez.
Yeah, so popsicle. Well, let's go from there to sherbet.
Exactly. This is actually some development art I'm doing for Dorian, who just recently became one of my $50 bracket patrons on Patreon.
Congratulations, Dorian.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, Clear Skies.
Yay!
Yeah, we're going to have some things to say about you, Clear Skies.
Mm-hmm.
And I think I see somebody else new. False Lyra. Have you been here before? Tell us true.
I know False Lyra follows me on Twitter, so hello, if it's the same False Lyra. Yeah. And also follow me on DA. So
how would you know?
This is true. It's false.
It's false Lyra. Yeah.
Exactly. So this is Sherbert. This is one of his OCs. And then I did another quick study of one of his characters. I promise this straw keeps falling into my glass instead of staying on the
We
head.
need to get long, suckers.
Mm-hmm. Proceed.
Chug. All right. So we also have on an older theme. Let's see. Yes, the bunny ears and the
Yeah, this was actually done for one of my patrons on Patreon who's not in the $50 a month bracket, but has pledged over $100.
Accumulated,
Yeah, accumulated. So what I'm doing
Baron is doing cumulative awards now too.
So basically, even if you can't get basically one of the $50 slots, if you basically pledge over $100, then you will get a piece of black and white art like this. And I'm going down the list and one by one.
Say $10 a month. We'll be he'll be talking to you in January.
Well, yeah, less than a year.
Yeah.
Long titanium straws.
Yeah, perfect. Yeah, he'll get you a silly straw. Perfect. And then of course on the say in the long ears. What's wrong with mine?
Yeah, and that actually is for Lava Bat, and that is one of his Chimera characters, and they also want Bunny Suit.
Well, of course, but this ear thing is just kind of odd. Yeah, so I think it was character studies. Looks like we have a Vivian the Vivarid.
Yes, Vivian the Mink.
Yeah, so I was going to say either Mink or Pine Marten.
Yeah, and that's actually for Corwin, and
Woot Corwin.
Yeah, and I'm going to be doing probably a series of drawings involving this character as far as basically pledge payments for him. So I figured it would be a good idea to do some development art. But I got an idea I might be doing some more of Vivian besides just one drawing in the future. So it was worth my time to do some homework.
Absolutely. So here's another study that you did, just a very quick one. But
yeah, once again, that's for Dorian. That's his character Spanner. And I was really very happy on that one. It was maybe like 10 minutes that I cranked that out and everything. But it was good to be able to go through and get the general vibe of the character. Also, Dorian, I want to thank you very much for providing notation on the reference that told me that I need to move earrings to different locations, folks. If you're going to provide reference, either provide good notation that the artist can see that says where changes need to be done, or provide reference that doesn't require notation in the first place.
Right. Yeah, and again, if you're, say if this is your first drawing, again, work closely with your artist because it's forever will it guide your destiny.
Yes, forever will it. Indeed, yes.
Yes.
For the Jedi too, it is time to click the link right here that will say that will make brains go flat. Yes.
Sorry.
No, you're not. And this was one of the commissions I did at BabsCon a couple weeks ago, and for Minty Root, and this is their OC, and it was kind of an interesting piece to do, particularly because I was really, that day I was terribly booked.
That was, the busy times.
Yes, it was very, very busy, and I cranked that out, and I had about maybe 5 minutes max discussion with the client about the character, and I'm going, boy, I sure hope I'm getting this right, and well, yeah, I did.
Yep. So, and the Big Mac plushies were busy. Yep, indeed. So we'll leave this up there for just a moment there. Oh yes. Okay, say bye to her in 3, 2, 1, bam.
All right.
Now I got to look at this. Sorry. All right.
Hey.
So that's old art.
Yes.
What the hell are you going to do tonight?
Well, the first thing I'm going to do is, in fact, I might hit tonight. I'll probably hit by the Monday at the latest. Is my 500,000th page view, 500,000 on DeviantArt.
That's going to be a little bit special.
Yeah, so I'm going to do a piece of artwork tonight, basically a milestone piece of artwork for the 500,000th. And considering that in August of...
Hey, Stormin, are you new? Hi.
Hey.
Yeah, it is muted because the camera doesn't handle saturated because it catches fire.
But, I mean, last August I hit 400,000. So in less than a year, I picked up another 100,000 page views. So I'm kind of proud of that. So I definitely want to, kind of do a nice piece of artwork to celebrate it. So I'm going to work on that first for the first hour. And then for the last 3 hours, I'm going to be working on Patreon reward stuff for people.
Nice.
I mean, I got to get the work done for people. They've pledged the money. I've got to pledge the art.
And sometimes, hey, if you're here for him doing your Patreon reward, you get to give the feedback, and it's like, nah, the nose needs to be this, make the butt bigger, whatever.
Exactly, and it's also, for folks that are new to the stream or maybe haven't really followed me before, this is what I do for a living.
Yeah, he's at his day job.
Yeah, I'm at my day job. Monday morning, I don't go work in an office, something like that. I get up in the morning and I go down the hall to the studio and I make art all day. So if you're enjoying what you're seeing here tonight, hey, consider maybe throwing $1 or so at me on Patreon. If everyone threw me $1 on DeviantArt, I'd be very, very well off,
Hey,
actually.
it looks like Celestia is trying to photobomb. Well, let's see.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have the power. I have the power supreme.
And didn't you ever see Harrison Ford told you stay out of the light?
Don't cross the stream.
Yeah, don't stay out of the
Go
light.
to the light. Yeah, there you go.
You're going to
fine.
trigger things. Well, why don't you flip that camera around? I'm going to change my glasses.
And I push the button
They're
right
probably
here.
tired of me saying drink.
If you stream, get you one of these. Love them.
Oh, Stream Decks are wonderful.
Because then I can push this button right here. It says, here we go. See that button here? It says, draw. Ain't that magic? Damn, we're
And
good.
I've already changed my glasses, so you can't yell at me.
And you're going to have to move the, actually, I think I can do that. Oh, of course. Hey, it reset this. It reset my Zoom
Did it
again.
reset your Zoom again?
Yeah,
Oh,
that must have been a Microsoft update, because every time it does that. Okay, fine. I have a button right here that I can click, and I can do this thing right here that says configure video. You dumb butt. Okay.
Who you call dumb butt?
Yeah, me dumb butt. No autofocus, no auto exposure, zoom. Okay, fine, there we go, to about right there. Let me do a little bit more. And then I can say, oh, the other way. Ooh, look at that magic. Oh, this is so magic. I swear to God, I astonish even somebody. And then let's zoom a little bit more.
Oh, by the way, those sound effects, you have to buy the Pro package to get that.
Exactly.
If you're wondering, why is my software not doing that? You don't have the Pro package.
Yeah. All right, so white balance.
I have an awful
here.
lot of photos here on this iPad.
Yep.
Reference.
All right, then we're gonna have a little more gain.
Yeah. Sweetie Bell's pretty, but you know.
There we go.
I'm looking for these two. All right. Okay. Got my ref.
Yep. Celestina Silhouette.
All right. Okay.
Hey, Brown Bear, welcome back. All right. So, anyway, if any of you folks are new, by the way, again, I think I've said hi to most of the new folks, but say hi to us. We will say hi right back at you. Scare the heck out of you. That's what we do. Let's see, what do we got here? Just looking at all the peoples. Anybody else is trying to sneak in? Squishy, I think we've seen you before.
Oh yeah, Squishy's been here before.
Yeah, Squishy. And we got, who else we got? Hey, welcome back, Jarrell.
Yay, Jarrell.
All right. Oh, and Bloody Rainbow, you were asking a little bit earlier about various musicians. Again, during the music part of the show, the pre-show, the artist is, the musician is shown before each of the segments, and then after about 30 seconds after the fade in for whatever picture it's highlighting, it'll be down at the bottom. And just as a side note, hey, Bravo. Just as a side note, all of the pieces of music we use, either we directly have permission from the artist, or the artist has done Creative Commons or otherwise indicated it's fair game. Baron is an artist, and using an artist's pieces for something they don't want to is not kosher.
Nope.
So we try to be respectful and make sure that we're always on the side of light and goodness.
Mm-hmm.
That would be Celestia, by the way.
Yeah. Is she still trying to
And
photobomb?
we have a ratty.
We have
Hey,
a rat?
Nizumi.
Hey!
How-
Hey, Nizumi, people were worried about you.
Yeah, and they gave you a new name.
Yes.
You have a new name, Nizumi.
Yes, you picked up a really cool nickname.
Yeah, and you can thank Agni for this. You are Diet Patina.
Yep.
You are Diet Patina. That is official, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
So, again, only 1 calorie. Say Pepsi 1, Coke 0 in overtime. So, who else we got here? Yeah, so again, we were out on our normal time because of BabsCon.
Yep.
So, I understand that you and Clear Skies, I see you there, Clear Skies, did pretty well at the show. That people seem to
yes.
like what you were doing.
Oh, yeah. Clear Skies had excellent sales at his table and sold a good portion of all the books he brought out. He had a very successful running of his game to demo it. We had a very good crowd that turned out for the panel that we had on the Roan RPG. Even Catspaw ran his wacky race type game and had fun. Sales at the table were excellent. I was working like crazy all weekend, and I want to thank everybody who dropped by and said hi. And I'm sorry if I didn't have enough time to really talk with you in depth, but it was really, really busy.
Yeah. I'm playing with the camera settings, by the way, since the most recent update overwrote them. So forgive the weird things going on with regards to whatever. Anyway, continue.
Yeah. So. Yeah, it was a very, very fun convention. I mean, very, very busy. And of course, that's the double-edged sword, is that if you're at a convention and you go there because you want to do business, so you're happy that you're busy as all get out. But at the same time, you don't get a chance to see a whole lot of the convention, which was.
Oh yeah, you never get to see the convention you work, at least not during the day.
Mm-hmm.
That's kind of a rule. And,
Yeah.
Again, some folks they will they say, oh, I want to go to I want to be on the con committee of a convention and get things set up in advance, and then hang out with the with the guests of honor. And like, no, you do not get to attend your own convention.
Yeah.
Again, so I was the art show director at Further Confusion for about co-director 2 years and art show lead for 2 years, and yeah, you don't get to see your own convention. It's a rule.
Yep. Now, that being said, we did have some great times in the evening. I particularly want to thank Clear Skies for putting together the dinner on Saturday night with Late Customer and White Diamond and, and forgive me, Clear Skies, what was the name of the chap from Great Britain he's involved with Buck Legacy? I'm just suddenly...
Senior Moment.
Senior Moment.
There
I have gray hair. I'm allowed to use that. But at the moment, I just can't remember his name.
All right, there we go. That's pretty good. Yeah, the thing funny about live streams from the convention is that usually the hotel wants you to use their internet service, which is horrifically expensive, or you have to bring out and arrange a temporary internet service, usually through the phone company, which is horrifically expensive. Yeah, and that's one of the reasons why there is no more Everfree Network, because it was horrifically expensive, and they were doing that out of their own pockets.
Mm-hmm.
Or you can try to do it like on LTE or something like that, but that's going to be very low bit rate, which means poor quality pictures.
Also, too, unless you can set up like a thing in your room or something like that, it's very hard to control the environment around you at a convention when you're streaming. So you end up, the moment you set up a camera, you have people trying to photobomb and pull pranks behind you, and sometimes you may or may not see it.
Yeah, so you need a thug.
Yeah. And it's like,
rent a thug.
Nah. Bubble Lee, to answer your question, yes, Clear Skies has been confirmed for a booth at BronyCon. So I am in the process of gathering up the necessary funds so that I can buy my plane tickets to go back and see BronyCon, because I'd love to go back and see folks back there. Yep. Every time I've gone back, I've had a wonderful, wonderful time.
Yep. Okay, do I see somebody else new? DWM, have you been here before?
I thought you said DWK there for a moment.
No.
That would be interesting.
Well, yes, it's certainly. Yeah, interesting would be. I wish he was still making videos, but I understand he's got something going on in his own life. So, oh well.
Yeah.
So, which reminds me, we're still embargoing this week's MLP episode and last week's.
Mm-hmm.
So, but season opener is fair game.
Yes.
It's been out. It's been 3 weeks. So that's enough time. You should go see it. Let's see who else we got. Hey, Lego. Let's see who else we got. Just going down the list. Down the list has. That's pretty much. Yeah. Okay. All right. So, say for other folks who were at BabsCon, how was it for you? It was kind of quiet on Friday, but I understand it got much better on Saturday.
Yeah, and it wasn't just our table. We were hearing a lot of the vendors were doing very, very well. So.
Well, that's a good sign.
Yeah, attendance may not have been as large in years past, but the people who did come to the convention had money to spend, and they spent it.
Yeah, which means that So again, attendance may be dropping, but we're seeing who means it.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
Yeah. We're seeing who is loyal.
Exactly.
Yeah. Okay. So and maybe Clear Skies could tell us a little bit, briefly, as in typing, how his demonstration games of Roan. You should know what Roan is by now.
Mm-hmm.
Which, by the way, I'm going to be writing a module for Roan. So yeah, we'll see how well that works.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So yeah, he did several demonstration games, and they were all really well attended. And he is a good game master. Last year, I wish I had a chance to run run the same character, under say in a demonstration game this year. Just didn't work out. But I had a blast. He's a good game master. Yeah. Let's see. Okay, Nazumi says, between munching on your mini pizza, I'm curious, can someone, preferably Carrot Winter Baron, care to explain to me where Diet Patina came from? Well, that was Agni.
Yeah.
So we were commenting, that normally, you're here by now and, ready for the countdown and all that. It's like, oh, where's Nazumi? We miss our Ratty. Yeah. And then Agni commented that, that was, said, people were saying, who's Ratty? Who's White Rat? And I said, well, that's basically Diet Patina.
Yes.
So so you can blame Agni. You can blame him well.
But Agni also wins Line of the Week.
Yes, exactly.
For it, which is a new thing that we just started tonight because of Agni's comment.
Yep.
Because it was just so amazing.
Yeah. So good stuff. Yeah. Pinky Irrational says, to me, I always make sure you have 100 to spend on the dealer's room, because otherwise, why bother with a convention? Well, yeah, the dealer's room and dealer's room swag is always one of the great attractions. So,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, love your vendors so that they can love you for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, Zilu, how's it going?
Glad you could join us.
Hey, I think I see somebody else new. Extreme Dash, hi. Have you been here before? If so, well, welcome back. If not, just plain welcome. Either way, they both cost the same. And anybody else?
And they had the same amount of calories.
Is there anybody out there? Ray Hill, have you been here before?
I don't think so.
Rawl, that's Rawl. Have you been here before, Rawl? I remember there used to be a racer, Bobby Rahal.
Yes.
Didn't you? Baron's dad used to be a professional racer, and didn't your dad work with Bobby Rahal for a
Yes,
little
he
while?
did.
Yeah,
He did. He actually raced against him a couple of times.
Yeah.
It was very interesting. He had actually, now that you mention it, my dad actually had a very interesting story about talking to him after a race about 15 years ago now, where he rather complimented my dad. He said, yeah, you were in third place, I was in second, and I was spending most of the races trying to keep you from passing me. And my dad was going, I made Bobby Rahal have to sweat in a race.
You got to understand, Bobby Rahal is basically the opposite of Dale Earnhardt.
Yeah.
Dale Earnhardt was a brawler. He'd get out there, he would trade paint with you. You would dent his fender, and he would dent yours right back at 200 miles an hour. If you want to dance with, say, with the Intimidator, you'd better come prepared. Bobby Rahal was surgical.
Yeah, he was a fencer.
Yeah, he was. And the thing about
not a problem, Mongi. Not a problem.
Yeah. The thing about NASCAR racing, people say, oh, it's just roundy rounder. It's like, yeah, except that they're going, door to door at, over 200 miles an hour, 3 Gs, of lateral force in the turns.
Hours on end.
For 500 miles. It's a knife fight.
Yep.
Again, it's like there's a difference between fencing and back alley, knife fighting.
Yeah.
And Bobby Rahal was precision in a sport that was dominated by, again, let's go out there and put dents in our cars.
But he also raced. And
he was good.
He also raced Indy.
Oh, yeah.
My dad raced in a
ATL.
An Indy Light race. That's where that whole incident occurred. And the other thing too is that you're hot. Even with a cool suit on, you are racing in the south in the summertime. And my dad would lose 15 to 20 pounds in a race.
Yeah, even though they have these giant, sports bottle type things, and you notice every time that they pull into the pit, it's like, drink the damn Gatorade so you don't die, And you need to be in such good shape to do that.
Yep. And I remember my dad ran one race where, in their effort for weight distribution and to save weight, they had skimped on some of the heat insulation
And
on the
yes,
bottom side of the vehicle. Now, my dad was wearing fireproof shoes and Nomex socks, but about halfway through the race, my dad started realizing his foot was getting really hot. And then he realized his foot was burning. And the heat from the headers going underneath the body of the car was heating up the body panels to the point enough that it was burning his feet. And he still had about another 200 miles to go. And he finished the race and then had to go to the hospital because he had blisters all over the bottom of his feet.
he was cooked.
He was
Literally.
cooked. Yeah. So
Medium
when people say, "Oh, racers aren't athletes," it's like,
Oh,
no, no, yeah, no.
Yeah. So, yeah. Again, say racers. They have to have extreme endurance. They have to be able to handle extreme dehydration and heat conditions. And
Just like fighter pilots.
And once in a while, they stack it into the wall at 200 miles an hour.
Yeah, I said they're just like fighter pilots. Anyone who says, "Oh, a fighter pilot's not working," it's like, you go out and pull a few G's and do some inverted loops.
My dad was a fighter pilot. Of
Yeah.
course, if that was back, World War II, era, only 8 Gs.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that was, he flew Hellcats off of the USS Hornet and off of the Randolph.
Mm-hmm.
So, maybe
Okay.
it's going to be streamed before me. Yeah, I think so, TL. I think you've been there once before.
Yeah. Welcome back.
Yeah. What teams did your dad race for, Baron?
My dad raced. Well, see, my dad was a freelance driver, so what quite often would happen is that so-and-so driver would be like maybe on 2 teams or involved in 2 different championship classes. And one weekend, there'd be 2 races that would end up competing the same time, and he couldn't, of course, be in 2 spots. So what they would do is they'd have my dad, because quite often it wasn't the driver, it was the car and the team that was in the championship point race. So they'd have a substitute driver so long as that car started, that team got the points. So he did a lot of freelance stuff, but he did actually do some driving for Centrum. He drove for Stroh's Beer. He drove for J.W. Hunt, who's a fruit packing and shipping company in the Central Valley.
We see them all the time, around here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he did a lot. He also did some oddball stuff. He did vintage car racing for people who had, 1900s, racing cars.
Oh, the Concours d'Alliance.
Right, but
yeah, over at Laguna Seca.
Yeah, when
Go quote race. Do not touch the other cars.
Right.
Don't stack our one of a kind.
Yeah, and they would say, I've spent $3 million restoring this car, but I don't feel comfortable driving it myself, but I want to see it out on the track. So they would hire a driver like my dad and have him go out. And my dad always made certain he had what he called telephone pole clause, which was so long as it wasn't gross negligence, if he wrapped the car around a telephone pole, he could walk back into the pits, hand the keys to the guy and say, "Nice ride."
Yep. Yeah, let's see here. Okay, Prowell apparently had a couple questions
Sure.
about the Octavia and vinyl scratch
Yes.
drawings, the Puddin drawings. Go ahead, Prowell. We'll get to you. Let's see. As a question, it was the first USS Hornet. My dad missed the battle. He was in Coral Sea, missed the Battle of Midway because he had contracted malaria, and was on the Randolph during the final push. The push on Okinawa and then on the main islands.
Okay, answer Prowell's first question. She was being a little more rhetorical than anything. As far as how much did the camera catch it before it got knocked over, that may be a mystery the world may never know.
Yeah.
Or until I get commissioned for it.
Exactly. Let me put it this way. I suspect Octavia earned a couple of frequent flyer miles.
Yeah.
I'm not going into there.
Yes.
Contract says you are. Wahoo!
Yep.
Yeah. So, what else we got here? Yeah, say vintage racing. Again, we live near Laguna Seca, which is one of the classic tracks. It's got a couple of real interesting little corners in it that you do not see. You go up over the hillside and you just have to know that it dives suddenly very hard to the right and hard to the left. Yeah, and you got Indy racers and Formula One style racers are taking that crest at 25 miles an hour.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because it's that bad.
I want to fix this.
And okay, now imagine running that in like a 1960 Ferrari that is one of a kind, absolutely cannot be replaced in a quote race.
Yeah.
And then you hire, Baron's dad to drive it so
Oh,
that
yeah.
it will look good out on the track, and it will come back just as shiny and undented as it started.
Or in the one
Those
case,
are some nail biters.
yes, and in one case, my dad raced a 1913 Alfa Romeo out there, which was lots of fun because this was still during the early days when they were figuring out where exactly you wanted to put the controls. So you had the gas where you would normally expect it on the right, but the clutch was in the middle and the brake was on the left.
Reversed.
Yes, and it was a non-synchro mesh clutch, and the shifter was on the left-hand side.
The entire car was mirrored, as opposed to just the control location
Right.
compared to American cars.
Right, and so you had to play all these games, of course, not being a non-synchro mesh clutch, getting it to shift in the right gear. And my dad took one look at this thing and realized he was going to be sitting in this rattan seat perched up on this car. And if anything did go wrong, he was going to go flying because that little seatbelt wasn't going to keep him anywhere.
No.
So he went over to one of his buddies who was about the same size as he was, who was running in the vintage motorcycle races that weekend, says, "I want to borrow your leathers." And the guy said, "Why?"
Abrasion resistance.
He says, "Because if push comes to shove, I'm going to be thrown out of this vehicle one way or the other."
Yeah. Yeah. Let's see. Truth about Hertz running out full racing cars? Well,
They did once.
yeah, they did it at one point, and to this day, they will commission from Ford a special edition of
Mustangs.
Mustangs. Yeah, V8 Mustangs. They get a unique paint job and unique package, etc. They rent them out at expensive rates and not to somebody who's 19, and then sell them after 30,000 miles or so. Of course, they've had the crap beaten out of them, but
Yeah, they've lived 30,000 exciting
Right.
miles.
yeah, but yeah, I think they're GT350s.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
They're not bad.
they're nice cars. I mean, when I got my current Mustang, I actually was I was eyeballing. Maybe I can pick up. No, I don't want a rental return. No matter how much it's been babied, it's been thrashed.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Besides that, you don't get do you get the 5 liter for those guys?
Yeah, or 4.6, depending on how far back you go.
Right.
But yeah, that's the. They're definitely heavily breathed upon. Yeah. Let's see. Yeah, the Corsair is easy to recognize. It has the gull wings, the ones that go down and then back up again. If you ever saw the series Baa Black Sheep with Robert Conrad as Pappy Boyington, they flew Corsairs. Prowell's got a point there. How often do you draw women, standing up straight with their hips not cocked? It's like, not often.
Yeah.
Not often.
To be quite honest, because you don't see it as when you spend a lot of time working in an art store, you get a chance to study people,
Yeah.
and it's interesting. Certain things you go, wait a minute, this is a fairly common thing that people do.
Yeah.
We are not terribly symmetrical.
Yep. Yes. Again, we rest our weight on one foot and then the other.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Yeah, you're safe, Deathlight. You're totally safe. Now let's see. Yeah, talk about those. Really good. Then she was Red Cross. Yeah, those were. Those were interesting times. Yeah. Black Sheep Squadron. Yeah, there was only like 1.5 or 2 seasons of that. Not that many. But no, that was something that our family used to watch together because it was very loosely related to historical fact there. None of the specifics were they're all written for TV episodes. But that covered the island hopping campaign, where there's two parallel rows of islands, the Solomon Islands, and there's a channel in between they call the slot, and the Allied forces started down here and went and just worked our way up to Bougainville.
Mm-hmm.
It was a campaign that lasted about a year, I think. And they would have islands in a row, and they would leapfrog over one and go to the other one. Then this one would be cut off from supply and make it easier to take later. It was, that was really the heart of the Pacific campaign, was the South Seas stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, and of course that was largely Marines as well as Navy.
Mm-hmm.
The Marines flew the Corsair. Of course, so did the Navy.
Yeah.
Because it was a big, tough plane.
Yeah, but
26,000 pounds.
But primarily they flew the Corsairs off of land because it wasn't until the British developed the curved landing path approach that we felt comfortable putting Corsairs back onto carriers. They brought them on first and was very, very iffy, and then took them off and then put them back on again later.
Well, again, the noses were so long
Yeah.
and the cockpit so far back that when you were approaching at low speed, your nose is fairly high. So you could not see say the aircraft carrier. You had to trust, and you looked sort of out the side, and that was where you have the guy, with the flags, do, and he's sort of on a platform off to the side, and he would tell you what to do.
He'd look like he was doing interpretive dance.
Yeah, pretty much, because again, you say your nose was so high it blocked your view, and it's like, okay, somewhere out there's 800 feet of steel. I hope.
Yeah.
Hope I hit the arrestor cables.
Yeah.
And sometimes you didn't.
Yep.
Nozomi, oh yeah, in Japan the Corsair was known as the Whistling Death. Yeah. The thing about the Corsair, again, it was big, it was heavy, 26,000 pounds, 850 cal machine guns, and it had sort of unique sound to it. The dive bomber sound that everybody hears in movies was actually something called a Jericho horn that the Germans put on the Ju-87 Stuka on the landing gear, and then there was a little cable they could pull, and when they were doing the dive bombing thing, it would make this ungodly howl, the one that you hear that everybody associates with oh, it's the sound of a dive bomber, and again, just to instill more fear, and that way they could cause panic even when they didn't have any bombs. Just fly overhead, open up the siren, gate, and people would scatter, and that would definitely disrupt things.
Actually, there are a couple of videos out on YouTube that you can watch where they take a Corsair out and they fly it, and they approach the camera in such a way that they capture that whistling sound. And it is very kind of a eerie sound effect.
There's a guy in Chico that has a World War II Jericho siren on his Cessna 172.
Oh, I bet the locals love him.
The FAA has spoken to him a couple of times. They'd knock it off.
Yeah. The other thing for Baba Black Sheep for me, besides the fact it was airplanes and that was cool, was that a lot of the aircraft they used for the filming were based out at Chino Airport, which was a place I spent a lot of my youth hanging around. So I got a chance to see them actually repair and work on the planes for the series.
Yeah. There we go. 13-foot propeller. Yeah,
yep.
And one of the reasons why a lot of World War II fighters, like again the Corsair and the Spitfire, have this loud ripping sound as they go overhead, it's because the tips of the propeller are going faster than the speed of sound.
That's why.
But the root of the propeller is not. So there's this transition region, that will just sort of wash, back and forth. Here's the tip of the propeller. Here's the root. And it will, the supersonic transition is like right in here. It will go back and forth, and just make this, again, this ripping sound.
That's the reason why T6 Texans and Sturman biplanes make such a god-awful racket, is because they've got the two-blade prop, and because it's two blades, the way the resonance sets up, you get this really, from the supersonic noise, it's really quite ear-splitting.
Yeah, harmonics, yeah.
The loudest race at Reno is not the unlimited class, it's the T6 Texan class, because they're not going that fast, they're not going past you that quickly.
That's correct, TLD, but that's good, or at least if you're, so the question is, didn't they add a lot of drag? Yes, and when you're doing dive bombing, you're doing that because you're approaching at an unusual angle, and it makes it easier to hit with unguided bombs. You're lining up, you're in a nice straight line, okay, I can release now. But you don't want to overspeed the aircraft. You're pointing the aircraft at the ground, you're going faster, and pretty soon, you will be going faster than the airframe can handle. So a lot of the dive bombers of World War II had air brakes or other things to add drag, as long as it didn't shake the plane, because that would mess up your aim. Or other devices just to try and keep it from overspeeding the airframe.
Yeah, and you had this double-edged sword. You wanted to get your bombing run over as quickly as possible, but at the same time,
you had to pull up. Yeah,
and you always had to give the pilot enough time to line up the bomber. Where am I going? Oh, yeah, I want to hit that. No, that's our guys. No, hit that over there. So, it's a trade-off.
Yeah. So Generic wants to know. At one point, Celestia was requiring Skybrush to send her friendship lessons. Dear Princess Celestia stuff. Tell us about some of them, and is Patina sending Celestia friendship with benefits updates?
No, Patina does not send.
If you do this, it'll make your leg twitch.
Doesn't send Celestia friendship reports. What? This watch will come out fairly soon in my Quest or Dreamscape, and new stuff's going up tomorrow. So if you're a patron, you get to see it a week early on Patreon. Is the fact that Patina sends Celestia all of the chapters that she's writing for her latest grand work in advance. So Celestia gets a sneak peek.
Very nice. Yeah. So drag seems bad for dealing with fighters after the bombs are dropped. Yeah, the fighters would chase the Stuka out of the sky.
Yep.
Dive bombers were really pretty useless unless you had air superiority over wherever it is you were doing.
Or you weren't facing excessive flak coverage by the enemy.
Right. Yeah. So actually in that was that whole bit in Midway of torpedoes versus dive bombers, and the dive bomber people did not have a good time.
Although the torpedo people even had worse.
They came in low, so they were flak bait.
Yeah.
And
you had to fly slow in a very predictable pattern for so many seconds for the guy to line up to drop the torpedo.
Yeah, straight and level is dead. When there are other aircraft in the air, or even for that matter, halfway decent anti-aircraft gun crews. Yeah. So my dad missed Midway because he had malaria, which is one of the reasons why I'm here. But yes, actually, it was while Dad was sick in the hospital back in Pearl Harbor. The Navy, has separate hospital wards for officers versus enlisted, and there was another officer in the same hospital ward at the same time who was sick with a serious fungal infection during Midway, Admiral Halsey. So my dad got to know Admiral Halsey, and actually the family stayed in contact for a few years after World War II.
I saw a very good quote accredited to him. Which was, there are no great men, just ordinary men who, by necessity, must face great circumstances and prevail.
Yep, a hero is an ordinary person doing extraordinary things under fire.
Yeah, even if they're scared out of their gourd. Yep.
Yep, and that's the difference between courage and stupidity. Courage is when you're scared, but you do what you need to do anyway. I feel no fear. Then you're an idiot. Yeah. You say in that case you go charge the bunker because you're a liability.
The famous war hero, you go first.
Yeah. Exactly.
Okay, so in case people are wondering what exactly this drawing is I'm working on, I'm going to have the banner that says 500,000, and we've got Starlight here dressed in a bunny suit because I have discovered through market research and looking at my bank account that people like ponies in bunny suits.
And you like bunny suits too,
yes.
So there.
Yes, I do. So you draw what you like.
Yeah,
and,
draw what you know.
Basically, Starlight's pointing at the hat and saying, and what are we doing? And Trixie's saying that we are celebrating the 500,000 page view. And when it happens, the great and powerful Trixie will reach in and pull you out. And Starlight's going, don't you usually do that of a rabbit? And she goes, yes. But Trixie would rather grab Starlight than a bunny.
Well, we understand that.
Yes. Because, I understand, folks, Panina's still commissioning all this stuff from our ponies, so she gets to set up the scenarios.
Yeah. Counter-rotating props. The main reason for counter-rotating props is
they make engineers have hard-ons, apparently.
Yeah. There's something called P-force, which is essentially if you have all your propellers turning in the same direction, they're acting
torque.
like. Yeah, exactly, and they're going to they're going to want to turn the plane in that direction. If you only have one propeller and one engine, like say a little Cessna or something like that, you do have to constantly, very, very small amount, but keep in mind the plane always wants to turn to the right, just a little bit, just because of the rotation of the prop. And but if you have the propellers are counter-rotating like that, then they cancel each other out. So straight and level becomes much easier.
The only problem was that, boy, everybody towards the end of World War II wanted to go counter-rotating props. You'd see all these aircraft, and they would initially be designed for counter-rotating props, and nobody actually really went ahead of it. I mean, the only aircraft I can think of that went with counter-rotating props that really made it work were after.
See your head.
Oh, see my head. Is after World War II, and that would be the Soviets with the Tu-95 Bear bomber, the AN-22 Cock, and I forget what they named the Tupolev airliner that was based off roughly the Bear bomber. But that was the only really major.
Well, don't name things that are about to fall out of the sky.
Yeah. And I'll have to admit, I would love to hear a Bear bomber sometime at an air show, not attacking some country, because they apparently make this just amazing sound. Those counter-rotating props are just, they sound like they're ripping a hole in the sky.
Nice. But you know what?
Uh-huh.
We have a duty to do.
Yes, we do.
So let me tell you guys about our duty.
Yeah, so to all our new folks.
Okay, and hello, new folks. I think I see a new one. Zitsubuchi. Are you new? Well, you're here just in time for us to say
Hi, it's our sponsor.
Yeah, and Nikomox, I think you're new too. Hello, hello. But now we have to say thank you to our sponsor. See, we're going to say, look down there. It says, thank you to our sponsor. Our sponsor is University Art, a high-end art store with and framing shop with branches in Redwood City, San Jose, and Sacramento, California. Museum quality framing. Knowledgeable sales staff who are all artists themselves, so they know what the heck they're talking about, but they're not on commission, so they're not going to try and push the most expensive thing. They're going to give you the right thing. Again, they have workshops, they have demonstrations, they have craft fairs, they have all these good things. And again, as mentioned before, museum quality framing. Your art will look great 100 years from now, long after we are all gone. Unless, of course, you're a head in a jar, in which case then it's all good. They also occasionally lend us some of their employees to show up on the show. We've had Jeff, we've had Jaya. So, they are a couple of rockin' artists in and of themselves. They also put up with Barron for 20 years.
Which means something quite a bit.
Right. I mean, these folks have the patience of saints. So we want to say thank you to University Art for keeping Barron supplied with art supplies. And that is what our duty looks like. Dirty.
All right, and I got about 7 minutes here, so I'm going to get basically the basic, layout of things put in place and everything. I'll finish the shading when I get home. I knew I wasn't going to finish this one because this was just a too complicated a piece. But I wanted to get this started and, give people some encouragement. Hey, we get some more page views. We get to 500,000. I get to air this.
Nice. Let's see what else we got here. Let's see. Hello. Hello, cats. All right, so just going down the list, who else do we have here that is newly arrived? You should say hi so we can say hi right back. Nefle, are you new? If so, welcome. If not, then welcome back. Anybody else? Flusonics, I remember you've been here before. Anybody else here who is new? All right, we are good. Yeah, so, oh, by the way, is this one going to be available in the store?
Yes, this will be available for sale.
Once it's all done.
And it's all done. Yeah, by the way, folks, just so you know, if you see me working on something during the stream and you like it.
All right, see you later, monkey.
And have fun cleaning house.
Come do mine.
Yes, but if you see something during the stream, you go, wow, I really want that, and it's not like a Patreon reward. If it's a Patreon reward, sorry, it goes to the patron.
Yep.
But if you like it, let me know. But you need to actually send me a note on DeviantArt or a message on Twitter or an email on my Smudge Marks and Engelworks site, something in writing saying, I want this. Just yelling it out in the chat don't count.
Yeah. Yeah, got to be some way that he's got some sort of record as to who the heck said they wanted it.
Well, in some cases I've had multiple people.
Yeah.
And then it comes down to timestamp who sent in first.
Yep.
Aha. Hey, Cat's Matt and Eric, can you make it?
Yep. And if it's something that says you want and somebody else gets it, well, he can do something. It's not. You won't necessarily do the exact same thing, but hey, could you do another one like?
It's called a commission.
Yeah, it's called a commission, and it's how Barron keeps himself full of cornflakes.
Yep. Even though at the moment for big commissions, like big color pieces and everything, I'm closed at the moment because I've got enough work I need to get off my docket and cleared out for. I don't want to take on too many jobs, push out jobs too far.
Yep. Again, commissions are debt, a form of debt.
Yeah, that's something to think about. If I want to become an artist and do this for a living, what he said. When you take on a commission, you take a payment, even if it's partial, you are taking on debt. You're taking on an obligation that you are going to fulfill that and pay that off.
Yep. Commissions keep the ramen monster away. Yes, they do. Although you can do some pretty cool things with ramen.
Yes, you can. Some fresh vegetables and some additional goodies.
Oh, by the way, a recommendation for a brand of ramen that is really, really, really tasty, oddly enough, is called Indomie, and it's made in Indonesia, and their spicy ramen is really good. What makes it different is that the packages come not just with dry spice, but also with oils.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so there's a sweet ginger soy glaze. There's like a hot chili oil. You know, and then they have packets that have garlic, salt, dried flake onions, and then you just mix it all up, and it's really, really tasty. It's ramen worth looking forward to.
One of the things I'm looking at here, you may see me going dude, is I'm visualizing the dialogue and making certain that I've left enough room here on the picture for the dialogue bubbles to go. Nothing is worse than I've got this great idea for a picture, and I'm going to have the Gettysburg Address as dialogue, and where do I?
I used to actually do comic book lettering back when I was in college. You know, I'd taken a lot of drafting classes and stuff like that. So I have, to this day, I've got comic book lettering grade handwriting. So I would get paid for that, and and I did occasionally want to strangle the artist for not leaving room.
Yep.
Word bubbles. Yeah. Yeah, because I was the back when this was done by hand instead of by computer, the letterer would also put down the borders of the ink in the borders of the panels and the word balloons and all of that, and it got real interesting when there wasn't enough room.
And it is basically adjust that.
Just
there.
about that.
I'm going to adjust these and a little bit. It's a bit too large.
Yeah.
Yes, you can make the breast too large, especially if you've got kind of a model sheet and you want to keep the character on character. Okay, why don't we switch to cameras here?
Okay, I'll push this button right here.
Okay.
Yeah.
Ooh, that's why.
This button right here.
That's why this is feeling.
The button right there, it says main.
That's why. Okay, the lead was almost gone on that one. That's why I was feeling funny. Yeah. Feeling all bouncy. Okay, there we go. All right, switch lenses here. Okay, so I can go back and look at the camera.
We are here.
Yes, we are.
Then later on, in a couple moments, we're going to hear where it says intermission. Yeah, guess what happens then?
Yeah, we're going to take an intermission for new folks. We get up, we walk around for 5 minutes. So should you.
Stretch, be biological.
Get a drink.
Yep, which I said we'll be doing that here too.
And then when we come back, there'll be more art.
Commission prices are negotiated directly with him. Contact him like DeviantArt says pretty good. They also have their own website, smudgemarksengelworks.com, which I'm sure one of you, Tats K9, you're new. Hello, welcome.
Yes.
We're about to take a 5-minute break.
Yeah,
your timing is good.
Basically, Ninja Rabbit, I don't have a price sheet because I've learned through the School of Hard Knocks over decades of doing this that you can't do this like a Happy Meal or something like that. You can't say, okay, it's always going to be this amount. So contact me, let me know what you want as far as a picture goes, and then we can take it from there.
All right. So we're going to see you guys in 5 minutes, and we'll answer you when we get back, Brom. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, go.
Bye.
We are indeed back.
We are back. And congratulations, Rebel.
Give me mini pizza.
On the having your story, the Shadow Vixen story, posting up on FA. Glad to hear that. Brombear, you asked a question about what Smudge thought of the book. She hasn't had a chance to actually work in it yet, but her initial impressions is this is really, really, really nice. So she thanks you very, very much. That's, very, very generous of you. When I worked at University Art, we carried that exact brand of watercolor books. So I know what the retail list price is for that, and that was not a cheap book.
Yep. You peasants are no match for me. Sir Roquefort, the evil robotic knight. Yeah, he's going to give you a dressing down.
Oh, a cheesy character.
I know. So, for the second hour,
And to celebrate the fact that this is now a verified Picardo channel.
That's right. Picardo is now providing verifications for Twitter.
Mm-hmm.
Get that little gear and checkbox by your name.
Mm-hmm.
I'm breaking out the good stuff. This is the good stuff.
This is very good stuff.
This is, I think, the best scotch in the world at any price.
Mm-hmm.
I've had more expensive scotches. They're not as good as this.
Mm-hmm.
In my not even slightly humble opinion. There's a reason why it's Scotch Snob.
My opinion.
Which is mine. Boonk. Boonk. Stay.
No, the cork smells better when you do that.
There you go.
Oh.
All right, so for Mr. Barron
Ah, yes.
and for Mr. Me. All right.
Yeah.
Cheers to you.
Cheers to ya. And cheers to you, and thank you very much. I also want to let people know that next month will be the third year of streaming. 3 years. And one of the reasons why this will be our third year is because of you guys there.
Yep.
Out in the chat. You guys who take your time out every other Saturday to tune in and watch the stream. To all you folks who support me on Patreon, thank you. And I mean it. Seriously. It's just not, some...
Yeah, you are keeping him alive, literally. So, yeah, cheers to you.
My patrons, the people who commission work from me, people who buy stuff at the cons, thank you.
Yep.
You're looking at a guy here.
That's okay, Killer Skies. Don't worry about it.
Yeah. There was a point, a few years back when I wasn't quite certain if I was going to actually finally do it. I'd gone to art school, I'd gone to college, I'd studied to be an artist, but, most people who go to school, study to be an artist, don't actually make it. And I thought maybe I was one of those guys who just wasn't. Oh, yeah, Celestia is... it glows in the light. But I was uncertain whether or not I was going to be that guy who's going to make it. And part of it is because of you guys there. So cheers to you.
Indeed. And I will go give Celestia the heave-ho in a moment.
Yeah.
But yeah, saying just remember.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, let's see here. Ponies. There we go.
Yes.
That's it. I don't often watch children's television, but when I do, I watch ponies.
Mm-hmm.
Stay brony.
And I'm very happy that...
And Dusty's Ugly Mug.
Yeah, and Dusty did very good at BabsCon as well. Sales were very, very good for him. So once again, overall, very, very well. Why'd you go fix that before she burns all her, she burns one of your eyeballs out?
I'm dying.
And while you're doing that, I'll switch out. I'm sorry, I'm ahead of the game. I've already switched out my paper.
Aha.
So why don't we just switch cameras, and you can deal with that? I know, because we haven't switched cameras yet.
Well, okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
If you switch the cameras, I'll switch the Really?
Bang.
We've been doing this long enough. You should have this figured out.
Yeah,
By the way,
I am giving you shit because that's my job.
that's right. You're my producer. And folks out there in video land, if you don't see me switch my glasses, you do have fair game.
You get the mother hand him all you like.
Right, because if you guys don't do it, then my wife does it when she is basically monitoring these videos or editing them together to put them up on our Smudgeworks and Engel Art site. Then she goes, "Dear, you never changed your glasses out that time." It's like, my bad.
All right, so what do we have next?
What we have here...
For whom?
What do we have next and for whom? Well, next is for Sura.
Sura, who is right there. Oh, hey, I think I see somebody new. Hey, Salt, how's it going? So welcome or welcome back as appropriate. But,
Yes.
But I think it's just plain welcome.
And, he gave me a selection of possible mustelids I could do a character of, and I'm going to do one. I think Nicole is her name. Nicole the Skunk.
All right. Yeah, we actually for a little while had a skunk camping out in our backyard. She has been evicted.
Pootie?
Pootie. Her name was Pootie. So, she got evicted.
Found a new home.
Yep. She was living underneath the deck all around my hot tub, and I need my hot tub.
That must have been very interesting with the opossum, or did she evict the opossum?
I haven't seen the possum while the skunk has been around, and I don't blame her a bit. We'll see what happens. We'll see if the possums come back. Yeah, I have no problem with possums.
Yeah.
But skunks, unfortunately, There's a very high incidence of rabies among skunks, and of course there's the obvious, other
Aromatic problems.
side effects. Yeah.
Yes.
Say that, and she was tearing the hell out of our.
Yeah, that
lawn
one
there.
video. That one
She was
video.
gathering nesting material. She was preggers.
Right. Yeah, I watched that one video, and she did a job on your turf.
Oh yeah. Yeah, if anybody's curious, look it up in. Go to my Twitter. Under Cardwin, you can see my name up there, and look in media, and you'll see the video.
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
Yes.
First possums and skunks. Yeah, we're right on the edge of town.
Mm-hmm. Actually, you're correct. Arenamon is going to be one of the other pieces tonight.
Indeed,
One of the things I do is before any stream, I actually physically download all reference I need onto my iPad. So if for some weird technology reason we could keep the stream running, but I lost Wi-Fi connection,
It's all there.
it's all there. It's called planning ahead, because if you don't, Murphy will just come and say hello.
There's an idea for you. The main 6 as skunks. Because we've seen people, say in Furry Fandom, they will draw skunks of just about any color you could think of.
Mm-hmm.
So, hell, why not? Skunks are bicolor anyway, and
Yeah.
that pretty much defines most of the characters.
Yep.
RD can have as many colors as she wants, though.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, Renamon by Baron, must watch. Yeah, the skunk 6, the stinky 6, yeah. Oh gosh, yes, someone go tell Yogi. Yeah. Yeah. So evicting skunks is good, saves a smelly surprise. And again, sooner or later I'm going to have dogs again, and I don't want them to be covered in stink.
Yeah, I have to remember years ago I was in a Petco and I was looking at their dog chew toys. And they had a dog chew toy that was a stuffy that looks like a skunk. And I remember asking the manager, is it really a good idea that you want to create this idea in your dog's head that they see something that looks like this, they want to run over and grab it with their teeth?
Yeah, that could get really interesting really quick. And by the way, it's not tomato juice. Tomato juice will not make skunk smell go away. It just kind of sort of masks it.
Yeah.
Hydrogen peroxide.
Yep.
Hydrogen peroxide and a little bit of baking soda, and yeah.
Yeah, they had a Mythbusters episode.
There you go. My little stinkers.
They had a Mythbusters episode that dealt with that.
Yeah.
And half the fun they had in the episode was trying to get a skunk to spray them, because they had the skunk and it wouldn't do it. And they're going, "This is the most polite skunk in the world."
Yeah. Yeah, because skunk was probably smart enough to say, "You're just being a jerk, and I'm not going to waste it."
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I remember.
And skunks don't like the smell either.
No, they're not very fond of it.
Sunny Tooth Tiger, are you new? If not, then welcome back. But if you are new, then welcome, welcome, welcome. You get 3.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. Who else we got here? Skunks are phlegmatic.
Yes, they are.
They have phlegm. No, wait a minute. I need something else.
Yeah. And if you aren't careful about feeding them, you can end up with a little black and white beach ball with legs sticking out.
Yeah, they're not exactly under a lot of pressure to get exercise.
Nope.
Jeremy Canine, are you new? If so,
Welcome.
welcome. If not, welcome back. Yeah. All right. Skunks and porcupines. Yeah. Yeah. Say porcupines. Back when I was young, we had a boxer,
Mm-hmm.
and he showed up one day and he had a face full.
Oh dear.
Yeah.
Hating life.
And my dad got out the pliers, and that dog his name was Bergie, was the most patient. Just everyone come out. No doubt it hurt like hell coming out.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because again, they do have on a small scale, they have backwards pointing, sort of flake barbs, to keep the spines in. This is a deterrent, and he pulled out about 100 from Bergie's face.
I remember when I worked at the laboratory, Brenda Gilroy at that time, not Brenda Carls. She had a zoology instructor who was hardcore. And at one point during handling of a porcupine for a tracking and collaring thing, succeeded in getting one stuck in his leg pretty deep.
Yep, and the problem is that those things can work deeper and deeper and deeper.
Yes, and they can work, in some ways they'll work their way out of the body. And he decided that on his own decision that he was going to conduct an experiment.
See where it came out?
Yes.
He must have liked infections and a little bit of septicemia.
He basically stayed on treatment to fight that, but it took about 2 months for it to work its way through down his leg and out the bottom of his foot.
Yeah, you remember Bonsai? He got a foxtail under his skin once, and we didn't find out until later on. And it had gone in like on his flank on the right side, and come out on his flank on the left side because it just sort of tunneled through.
Yeah.
Because again, the spines, they sort of point backwards there, like this. So it goes.
Yeah, Frank. Ouch.
Yes. Yeah, and so we finally like, why are you always sort of looking at your belly? Oh, okay. Let's go get you to the veterinarian.
Yeah.
Because again, it got infected. And like,
yeah.
Great.
Of course, my dad had a story involving a porcupine, which had a happy ending, and that was they were camping up by Huntington Lake up in the Sierras in the late 50s, and they were just one night they decided we're not going to worry about pitching tents. It's too warm. It's too nice of a night. It's not going to rain. We're just going to roll out our sleeping bags, put out our sleeping mats, and just sleep underneath the stars. Yay, great. And they were all woken in the morning by one of the guys in the group making these kind of strangled, horrified sounds. And they all looked, and he had laying on top of him a porcupine. They decided he was nice and soft and cushy.
Yep. Get this off me!
Yes.
Although I would rather have have to have a porcupine evicted from my from my sleeping bag than a rattlesnake or a scorpion.
Oh yes, and it was a very simple solution. It was all solved with raisins. They simply
bribery works.
They gave it one raisin, and it really liked raisins. And if it wanted more raisins, it had to follow the trail of raisins that led off of the guy and out of their camp area, and it worked just fine.
Yep. Yeah, sir, that would definitely catch your attention, would it not? Let's see.
Yes, the sea urchins. Yeah, those will.
Yeah, Angie says, of course, reminding of Eric Schwartz, Sabrina is another skunk. Yeah, and I want to see Sabrina in RC in Baron style, and Baron Blaster Raccoon and Rosemary in Eric Schwartz's style. That would be a hell of a crossover. Yeah, and Sabrina's still going.
No, it ended. If I remember correctly, it did end. They got married.
Yeah, but
did they start up again?
It started up again. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, as last I checked, she was just about to have baby.
Okay.
Yeah, lionfish, stonefish. Oh, you don't stay stonefish. We won't be seeing you again.
Yes. I love the particular article I was reading this week about they've discovered a new species of stonefish that has effectively a switchblade on top of its head. It's a bony spine that on top of all their other stuff, they can snap this thing out if they think they're being threatened and being eaten. I'm going, ooh, yay. Not.
At least you can easily spot a lionfish. They want to be spotted.
Yes. I need to get around to it. I've done all the development drawings for it. I have a picture of Patina in one of her mermaid suits along with face makeup, and it makes her look like she's a lionfish. And I want to have her swimming around in a fish tank with a bunch of... he started as a Patreon comic. Well, that's actually kind of smart of him, because that way he can at least get a little bit of money for his...
So he can buy all the old Amiga computers in the world.
Yes. Well, I wasn't going to go there.
God will. It's his religion.
This is true. This is true.
Let's see. Oh, Danielle. Okay, very good. Very good. Yeah, it's been a couple months since I checked in. She's officially a mommy. Excellent.
Oh, okay.
Have you ever drawn Rosemary as a superhero?
Yes. Years ago, I drew her as Hellcat.
Oh, nice.
And she made the outfit work. But then again, she does have one of those figures that makes a lot of outfits work. Okami fan art. Okay, I'm going to, at this moment, claim ignorance, and I'm going to ask, what is Okami? Because I can't Google it at the moment.
Well, the word Okami means like wolf spirit, I think.
Ah.
But of course, there's going to be, anime named that.
Right.
Who's next to Impossible? When fur piles want to pile, they pile and they stick. And they do not care about pixie sticks because they brought them with them. Pixie sticks and Pocky. And a U-Haul.
I am reminded of one Saturday at University Art when I was actually riding the circus. And Jaya and Joanne and Rachel and Annie had this crazy thing for a while where they were young, so they could abuse their bodies, and they would bring something in. It was kind of maybe every once in a while a guilty pleasure, and they would bring in a whole pile of it, and the goal was to try and eat all of it in the course of an 8-hour shift. And at one point, Annie brought in, it was like 72 pixie sticks.
Oh, jeez.
And they tried to eat them all in one day.
This explains much about Jaya.
And failed.
Yes.
And then I was kind of at one point with, I think it was with Rachel, I was kind of sitting there going, Rachel, are you okay? Do I need to 911 you? If you die on the job, do you realize how much?
I taste pink.
You know, if you die on the job, do you realize how much paperwork I have to fill out? Don't you dare die on the job. You know, if you're gonna die, finish your shift, go home and croak there.
Not on my shift, you know.
Yeah. We'd known each other long enough that we were able to get away with that kind of talk with each other. By the way, per use, good to see you tonight.
And they still have all their teeth.
Yeah.
Yeah, they are tougher than, yes.
I think they succeeded in eating like 18 each. But they were getting kind of twitchy towards the end. And I was like, my heart's feeling funny. I wonder why.
Because they're trying to give themselves diabetic shock.
Yes. They did succeed in eating one big gigantic jumbo box of Otter Pops in one 8-hour shift.
Just chug them down in liquid form. I mean that's like mainlining, you know, amphetamines. You know,
Yeah.
that'll wake you up.
Yeah.
What would Jaya be like after a triple espresso? She would have vibrated into the alternate universe.
Mm-hmm.
She would be fighting the battle against people with goatees.
And winning.
Yes. And as far as we know, she has.
Mm-hmm. She's the owner of the loudest thing in the world. She has an umbrella.
Excellent. Yes. Feeling much better. Peruser's arm has finally healed enough to go back to work. Hooray!
Excellent.
We are happy for that.
Oh, by the way, folks, if you aren't aware of it, Per User of Pieces makes excellent MLP soft sculptures, effectively, and his stuff's really, really great. I'm trying to figure out how to scrape up the money to actually commission him for a patina plush of his, because his stuff is just simply the bomb. He's one of the best ones out there. There are quite a few good makers.
Peruser, give us your link to your
Yes.
website so people can give you money.
Yes.
It is so required. So let it be written. So let it be done. I have to go back and watch that again.
Yul Brenner as Ramses.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, I forget the actor's name. The one who played Ramesses the First.
Mm-hmm.
Or was it Ramesses the First?
Well, it was Ramses the second. Was Yul Brenner.
What was Yul Brenner? Yeah.
His dad. Their
yeah.
dad. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that's one thing. Again, the movie in question is the Ten Commandments from Cecil B. DeMille, who had an ego problem like you would not believe. I mean, you know, he decided that he would be the voice of God, and to make the movie props for the Ten Commandment tablets, he said, "Go get me some granite from Mount Sinai." And he himself carved in, you know, the first few words of each of the, because he was going to be the voice of God. Yeah, he was kind of a problem. He was also one of the biggest McCarthyists in Hollywood. But that being said, at least the first half of the movie, before it gets all, for lack of a better term, biblical and, you know, begaddish and stuff like that, the dialogue in it was just, you know, the verbal fencing that everybody, you know, was doing in the court of Ramesses.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that was the dialogue was brilliant.
Okay, I have to agree with TLD Dragon. Morgan Freeman is the voice of God. Either that or James Earl Jones.
Yeah. Yeah, might say my mom was quite religious, and one time I got her as a Christmas gift, James Earl Jones reads the New Testament, as a bunch of CDs, and she played them constantly. Yeah.
Now, speaking of the Ten Commandments, and not Cecil's movie, but one who apparently, I didn't realize that movie's been made, that concept's been made as a movie several times. Last year, down around Pismo Beach, apparently it was a silent film. They made the Ten Commandments, and they filmed part of it on the beach down there, and they had created a Sphinx as a set. And then after they were done filming, because they built this big, huge thing, they went, well, this is going to be a pain to move. And this was before the whole concept of, hey, look, film crew, if you're going to show up at a spot and kind of trash the joint, clean up your mess when you're done. They just left. And left the sands in the wind to do their job, and they basically buried the Sphinx they had built. And this national park knew that somewhere on the property of their park was the Sphinx, and they actually went out and they actually located and dug it up and removed it, and they were going to put it into a museum down in Los Angeles, if I remember correctly.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. It says, in my mind, the voice of God is either Christopher Lee or Peter Cullen. That works.
That works.
It's a Mad Badger. Truman Capote could do the voice of God. Thou shalt have no other God before me.
I can always imagine Orson Welles when he was not drunk.
Yeah. Oh, a movie recommendation. Yes. Go watch The Prophecy with Christopher Walken.
Yeah.
Don't bother with any of the sequels.
No,
they no more exist than the sequels of Highlander, which never happened. There is no Highlander 2. But go watch The Prophecy.
And Viggo.
And Viggo Mortensen in his first major role.
And he was so
as
good.
Lucifer.
He was so good.
And again, Christopher Walken as Gabriel. And they're at cross purposes. Yeah.
Oh, but Viggo was just so good. Oh, little Timmy, always praying at night because you thought I was hiding underneath your bed, and I was.
And I was. Yeah. Without giving away too many more, but yeah, excellent movie. It's a very good, psychodrama.
Oh yeah, George Burns. Yeah, that would be the.
Oh, I remember that.
Yeah.
George Burns, and John Denver.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, George Burns is kind of, the way you wish it was if the old man upstairs is up there.
Yeah.
He's more understanding.
And they always have good whiskey and good cigars.
There we go.
Oh, that's so good.
Yep. That is one awesome looking skunkette. Damn right it is.
Well, I'll say as much.
Yeah.
I got
For
good
some
reference to
reason-
start from.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. For some reason, I read Peter Cullen and my brain transposed that as Peter Cushing. Yeah, well, you have to demonstrate, the power of wrath on a planet. How about Alderaan?
Yeah.
Oh, all you kids talking about your age. Oh, you kids.
I remember Richard Nixon, unfortunately.
Yeah, I remember Watergate. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I remember it. I don't remember understanding it.
It was carefully explained to me.
Okay, I
Yeah.
never got a good, clear explanation until I was in high school. Then it was kind of like, oh,
Yeah,
dear.
I was 11 at the time, but
Yeah.
I got the full explanation. It's like, this is why this is a problem.
Yeah. But that's enough for politics.
Mm-hmm.
That's enough for politics.
Plenty of that everywhere
Yeah.
else. So
Tonight,
here's my idea of politics. How are we going to reduce the tariff on Scotch? Yeah. Grandma talking as God. No. Maybe there may be somebody else in that particular cast. Yeah.
Which I looked at it. Okay, this is a wonderful joke. Apparently, there is the home Scotch brewing kit.
Yeah. Distill your own. Good luck.
Yeah, I was just like,
Yeah, you can't sell it,
nope, you can't sell it.
but you can make it.
It kind of reminds me of years ago listening to a talk show, and they had this guy on talking about what was going to be new consumer products for the holiday season of that year. And one of the things they had was a Twinkie kit.
Oh,
And the guy described it as being able to make hot, fresh Twinkies just like Mom used to make. And the guy who was hosting the show said, "My mom loved me. She didn't give me Twinkies." Which is true. Twinkies are a guilty pleasure. Actually, for me, it's Little Susie's Swiss rolls. Cat's Paw can.
Well, it's Swiss rolls, but it's those peanut butter crunchy bars.
No, the nutty buddy bars. That's what's Cat's Paw. That's Cat's Paw's weakness.
I will fight him for it.
Yeah, for me, it's,
Let's fight. Let's fight. You, my peanut butter bars.
Yeah. Yeah, no, for me, it's you throw the Little Susie Swiss bars and the rolls in the freezer and you let them freeze. Now, I've had an actual real Swiss roll, and I'm pretty certain that anyone from Switzerland would disavow any association of their nation with that dessert that the Little Susie company makes.
Oh, I just love all the hostess names of their snacks. It's like there was Ho Ho.
Yeah.
There was, there was
Ding Dong.
Well, there was Fruit Pie the Magician.
Mm-hmm.
There was, there was the Ho Ho Kid. There was then there was Twinkie the Kid.
Thank you, Orca. I misread to his patina.
Yeah, exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but oh yes, the Little Debbie Nutty Bars. That is crack.
Yep.
Holy hell! I'm on Atkins right now. Oh, by the way, guys, as I just said, I'm on Atkins. I hold myself accountable to you guys. I'm going to tell you my weight every 2 weeks until I reach my goal. And if I don't make enough progress, you guys get to
Just like me and my glasses.
Exactly. You guys get to nag it. I started at 249. I am currently at 239. So I expect to lose between 3 to 5 pounds every 2 weeks. So I'm accountable to you. 239 is where I am at today.
Yes. Well, basically, to quote the line from A New Hope, stay on target.
Yeah, sounds like a way to problem. Yeah, indeed. Yeah, because, my back is telling me, stop that. And so Atkins works really well for me. The stream got heavy. Indeed, it did.
Mm-hmm. That's one of the problems
There's
about
protein, but there's no amateur team.
Yep. I am working right now also to bring my weight down. It's one of the things when I worked at University Art, I spent, I'd walk 4 or 5 miles a day, walking around the floor of the store, helping people, unloading trucks, moving literally hundreds of pounds of boxes, unpacking stuff, bringing stuff out.
You got your exercise.
I got my exercise. Now I ride a desk for a living, and I have to watch it because
it's watching you.
It's creeping up.
Yeah.
And I want to be around for a long time doing this, and one of the best ways to be around for a long time is not let your weight get out of control.
Yep. Well, Cat's Nightmare, how about we do this together? Go look up Atkins Diet. It's basically the original low-carb diet. It works, at least for me. And again, you avoid all the starches and sugars. It's all about proteins and fats. You avoid fruits, but you get a lot of green vegetables like broccoli and salad and spinach and things like that. Again,
Can you get mushrooms?
Oh hell yeah! Mushrooms are basically nothing. Yeah.
But tasty.
Yeah, I mean,
And full of vitamin
it's
D.
good for minerals, a few vitamins, but otherwise, I mean, they're dietetically neutral. Did I kill off Cedric during the most recent game?
No.
No. Although, I'll have to pull it up here. Let me see.
In fact, I went up a level.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And I had a spiritual journey.
Yeah, well, sorry. I'm not sure I'd call it. Well, we'll see, maybe. But yeah, he is now an arcane archer, which means that he has limited. Not arcane archer. I'm sorry.
Planeswalker.
Planeswalker, or Horizon Walker, which means that he has some abilities with regards to other planes of existence. And now you're thinking with portals.
Yes.
But let's see here.
So some of my last game session felt like something like a transition scene in the movie Heavy Metal.
Well, again, we're just role-played through your transition into that new class.
Complete with really cool soundtrack.
Oh, hell yeah. Soundtracks count.
Yeah, exactly.
Ah, there it is. Bing. No, I'm not going to ask Bing about that picture. Click, click, click.
Bing.
Come on. Click. Shut up.
No,
Stop
why
it.
not?
There we go. Click. Save picture as.
And by the way, just a little thing as far as an art tip goes right now. I'm laying out this using this mechanical pencil here, which has HB lead in it. And I'm doing that because this erases a little bit more easily and doesn't have as much problems with basically kind of, not putting down lines I can't get rid of. Now that I've got the character models laid out, I'm actually going to start going in and putting in some shading. I'll do that with this mechanical pencil, which I've loaded with 2B lead.
Let's see, transform.
Which produces a little bit darker of a line.
Fit to screen. That is not fit to screen. Properties. U. Okay. And trying to pull down a picture here dynamically, and it's fighting me. Don't fight me. Let's fight. F-I-T-E. Okay, so let's try this again.
Dun, 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 dun,
okay,
dun.
fine. Let's see what it is. Let's go 1, 2, 3. Bang. There we go. And I will move that over to here. This is where they're at right now. We left our intrepid our intrepid team right about here. They had just come in through the bottom, through the smashed doors. Basically, what's going on at the moment is they got word that one of the dwarves of Hergen's Bridge, who had been essentially panning for gold immediately after a storm. That's when the best gold panning is there. But it's also the most dangerous because the water is really high, got swept away. And they had been tipped off that this was apparently a person of some import, though they don't know it yet. And at the same time, one of the dwarven, statues that lined Hergen's Bridge, rule 1, if you see a giant statue, it probably moves, it disappeared. And they tracked it down to
because of my visions.
Yeah, exactly. To this old bunker that the dwarves who built Hergen's Bridge a very, very long time ago had apparently used, and it's since been forgotten. And there's this 12-foot high statue of a dwarf hunkered down in front of it. So they go inside, and they see evidence that this statue thing had bashed its way in. And this is the main hall of this bunker, whatever it is, that they had that they currently have found themselves in. And all the interesting
Rorschach pictures,
splats, that used to be goblins. Yeah. So I cannot for the life of me understand why they are so nervous about making their way around. They should just blunder their way around. Like
hey, I found a trap no matter what.
Yes, you stepped on the trap, click, and then made your dex saving throw and did not lift your foot off. In the meantime, like that scene in Apocalypse Now.
No, full metal jacket.
Full metal jacket. Okay, yeah. So, we remember E-Bomb's world. Yeah. And so so right now, the party is starting to look at all of the peek through the doors, off to the left side. But yeah, they found a pressure plates trap right in front of the. It looks like again, not as much a throne as not behind this big slab stone desk, whatever you want to call it there, and they found again basically a crossbow bolt trap, that with a whole when when they deliberately triggered all the crossbow bolts fired straight down the middle, and good thing there wasn't nobody in front.
Bless those dwarves and their 600-plus-year-old traps.
More than that. Hergen's Bridge is 2,500 years old. Although who knows how long this thing's been abandoned.
Yeah.
But yeah. So they're a little bit nervous about going further. It's like, come on, chickens. So yeah, and again the blood is still wet. Mm-hmm. So again this dwarfy statue apparently went in, then came back out and sort of cleaned house in the meantime.
Basically freshly gelled goblins.
Yeah, pretty much. So the right side, the doors, there's like mud oozing from underneath them. The left side, they looked and they saw what they've seen, like broken furniture and stuff like that.
And more gelled goblins.
Yeah.
That's obviously on the menu.
Yeah, exactly. So the other thing that they found is a very fine seam of stone with a gap of about maybe 1 or 2 millimeters all around the base of that desk, for lack of a better term, desk table, the stone table there in front of the throne.
See, generic, it's called magic.
Yeah, indeed.
Dwarven technology.
Yep. Exactly, exactly. One of the kicks about this area is that it's in this canyon that runs north-south. Hergen's Bridge is this big, impressive bridge. It's actually based on a Roman bridge
That really still exists.
that still exists, and people drive cars across it every day. It's in Alcantara,
Yeah.
on the border between Spain and Portugal.
Yep.
And so basically, I picked it up and dropped it into the world here. It's like, why, yes, these bridges can last 2,000 years, you know, particularly when there is a ley line of earth magic running right up the canyon. So, and apparently the dwarves, you know, who constructed the bridge somehow figured out a way to tap into it to bolster and preserve the bridge and, you know, hold it against all harm. So maybe they're doing something here. It's like, okay, you know, we build right, dwarves build to last.
Chunky souls and goblins style.
Yeah. Provo, your wireless is not doing its best.
Yeah.
You know, again, our uploads rate is rock steady at 1.6 megabits per second.
Yep.
Chunky salsa goblin style. Yep, yeah, exactly. They're basically road pizza, particularly the one on the left. Yeah, that one's like that one got a good holy shit what happened here. Yeah. That one was impressive.
Like I say, they're all Rorschach tests now.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
Actually, I'll wait till the next game session because actually I had a question about one of them. The one that's kind of up on that dais and everybody's that red.
Oh yeah,
smear
that
behind it.
one. Yeah, that one splatted so hard against the wall it's still stuck.
Okay, so there is actually a goblin there. It's not like the goblin vanished.
Oh no, the bodies are there.
Okay, the body's there.
The bodies are there. It is as you see.
Okay.
You know, and these say it again. It's like nobody's done a medicine check to do exact time of death, but it's pretty recent because the blood's still wet.
Right. It is splatty time.
We do record our sessions. Look underneath the video window, and you will. I think it's called recordings.
Okay, or are you referring to our game sessions?
Oh no, we don't. We don't. That's just for us.
Yeah, we don't record our game sessions.
Right. Half the people in the game are not like fanish or anything like that. They're just friends from a long time ago. Which is interesting. One of them, he and his wife are people I went to college with 30-something years ago, and just recently reconnected with. And the reason why I reconnected with him was a certain show about candy-colored horses called Amending Fences.
The episode.
Right. And afterwards, it's like you sit back and you think for a good long time. Then you start saying, I want to track down these people and see how they're doing.
Mm-hmm.
So, again, if you think that children's cartoons can't make a really significant difference in people's lives, well, it did in mine. Because I've reawoken a friendship from 30 years ago.
Yep.
Yeah. So, anyway, enough of that splat. Wait. And back to Skunky Girl.
Yes. Which I've been working on while you've been chatting.
Damn right.
Because that's what I do when I'm on the clock.
Yeah, you got it. Yeah. So, speaking of on the clock, haha, that's right. We're going to do it again, folks. It is time for our hourly duty. And that's where I click on it right here, and I say, we would like to thank these people right here, University Art, for keeping Barron supplied with art supplies. University Art is a high-end framing and art supply store with branches in Sacramento, Redwood City, and San Jose, California. Their sales staff are all artists themselves. They're very knowledgeable. They are, however, not on commission, which means they are free to sell you what you need, not the most expensive thing in the store with the highest profit margin. They have workshops, they have seminars, they have demonstrations, they have craft fairs. And when I say museum quality framing, I mean it. Again, I have some artwork framed by them that's going to look good long after, well, I've never looked good.
This piece right over here that you see at the start of one of our cameras.
That's 25 years, or 20 years. Yeah, almost 20 years now.
Oh, 20 years now.
Yeah. So, again, we want to say thank you to them for...
2002.
2002 for that one, okay. 16 years for that one. I have some that are older.
Yeah, you have some older stuff of mine.
Yeah. So I want to say thank you to them for keeping Barron supplied with art supplies, for being our sponsor, for occasionally loaning us their employees to be guests on the show, and all around being cool people. And they sometimes lurk, so to them we say, hi, Mike.
Hi, Jeff.
We see you. And that is our hourly duty.
Mm-hmm.
I think that both sides are getting a bargain. There we go. Click, click. Win-win. All right. We do not take card to protect the guilty. No, again, I want people to feel free to, to get ridiculous. And again, as I said, there's some folks they're private people. They don't want to have their faces all over the internet. We don't want anything that is inhibiting people. Someday I may run a public streamed type of game, but that requires people that are all you all have to buy into that. Because that's. Again, that's role playing is a vulnerable experience. You have to you're getting
Mm-hmm.
goofy, etc. And some people just aren't into doing that in front of however many viewers.
I mean the whole thing when Cedric was accused or looked like he was being set up. I rather played that out rather thoroughly as how a 16-year-old boy, first time out in the world, and suddenly he's been trained to be a ranger. He's trained to basically be the law, and suddenly he realizes that he's in a situation where the law is going to consider him as a guilty, or at least a suspect, in a murder. He took that pretty hard.
Yeah. What was the deal with the hag? Well, dearie, the deal was this. The reason the hag, or so she says, was engaging in this behavior was because they had slaughtered her pets. The goblins were her pets, and she took this amiss. However, she also had an interest in the bridge, for apparently the bridge is an engine of sorts that the dwarves use to make use of the earth ley line running beneath it. Yes, dearies, this is indeed why she has an interest. It is important that this bridge stand, for the power that the bridge can focus is very useful in keeping everyone safe in ways you do not understand. So the deal is this. She will withdraw with her pets to at least 10 leagues distance from Harrigan's Bridge. She and hers will not harass any travelers going to or from Harrigan's Bridge. She will keep her pets on a shorter leash. Here also are gifts for you on your way. In return, you will not hunt down my pets. No, we shall end this without bloodshed. Oh, by the way, there is one thing I would ask you to do for me. There is a dwarf who is important in all of this, though he does not know it. Please see to it that he lives, for the river is wild, and it will indeed take him. And it did. And so basically, she and her
Minions.
Got the heck out of Dodge. And it would have been a nasty fight because they were in a confined cave, not very large, with a big old bugbear and a very nasty looking goblin, with a horrible, beat up, cheesy crown, but he was the local Goblin King, or at least insisted that he be called that. And there they were within this cave no more than 30 feet in diameter. She was right next to her cauldron. It would have been one nasty, nasty fight.
Yeah.
Particularly because they had spent most of their spells and stuff on the fight above ground getting into there. So, one of the things that amazed me, when they all broke into the cave, they were met at the bottom. There was the big old bugbear. You're expected. Come on in. Behave yourself civilized. And they go in there, and she's got a table and a little teapot and 6 little cups. Come in, let us speak. Like civilized people. And she poured the tea, and one of the party drank it, knowing full well the hazard. And she was very impressed. He was the one that got the gift. She did not expect anyone to actually drink the tea. Is the tea just straight up tea? Like, well, they don't know for sure, but the odds are. It was the first test of personality. Oh, you have a full name now, Prowo. So, and again, she's promised to leave the area, promised to leave Harrigan's Bridge alone, promised to keep her goblins the hell away. Because again, it's the
and they'll wear
forest
red
that's dominated by
armbands so we
Fae.
know who they are.
Yep. You know, but she said, you know, I have 2 sisters who ejected me from their coven. They are fair game. So,
And they do not have the bridge's best interest in hearts. If I remember
yeah, they don't
correctly.
have anybody's best interest in heart save their own. Of course, that may be true of
The hag.
Of the hag.
Yeah. It just may be a case of our interest and your interest happen at this moment to be aligned.
Hags are not good. Hags are not neutral. Yeah. That being said, they can be dealt with. You know, and again, hags in my world are fae, and most fae, you know, formal contracts, formal promises, they may try to subvert them, but you know, it's one of those things. You know, a deal's a deal's a deal. And she did sign you know, this oath, not so much a contract, but an oath, you know, in her own blood. And the document has been presented to to some of the folks in Hergen's Bridge, you know,
Discreetly.
you know, because they don't want it well known. Like, you made a deal with her, you know, are you betraying us, you know? But
Are you daft?
but they have a weapon to use against her if they must. So. So the odds are good that unless something else happens, and who knows, you know, I haven't decided yet.
You're the GM. Something else is going to happen.
Well, you know, but well, there's always something going to happen. But will she keep the bargain? Well, odds are good. You know, again, in the long run, who knows? I don't know yet. I haven't decided. What are these guys going to do? I mean, these guys are driving the story here. So
Yeah, and also the fact we have to be careful that we don't accidentally end up breaking it ourselves.
yeah. So and there is a lady dwarf that thinks that, by the way, that Cedric is just the cutest thing.
Yes.
Yep,
I
that's
have
true.
a fan.
That is true. Yeah, yeah. By the way, Catspaw's discussing Gray. Gray is his character, who is a wolf fighter.
Varger.
Who is the younger son of one of the few wolves, you know, Varg, who are who actually hold a very, very, very minor hereditary nobility title. In the Kingdom of Redgate, they are known as Knight Lords, as opposed to a regular knight. Difference is that hereditary title. It's a title that does not come with any land or any fief or anything like that. But it does come with, you know, whoever holds the title has the right of low justice, and obligations. That comes with a modest stipend from the crown, but but it's also a merchant family. You know, and they basically, you know, took this bookworm of their son and said, you need to get out in the world. You know, again, his older brother is the one who's going to inherit, but again, they definitely want Gray to experience the world, because I mean their heritage does come from the Norden, which is a Viking-like race, and you know, it's like, come on, we don't want our children to grow up flying desks.
Besides that, there's always a possibility that his brother might pass away, and then Gray is going to get stuck with it. That happened very often.
Yeah, well, pretty much. You hear that, Gray? Assassinate your brother. Yeah. Now, so Hergen's Bridge is located on the edge of the Spire Vale. I think I may even have a map I can put.
Glad you
up
like
here.
it, Frank. She's coming together pretty good.
Yeah, she's
I got
cutie.
about 5 minutes to go. I'm not going to, of course, get her done, but I'm getting the basic stuff put in place.
Let's see. Where do we have reference? Properties. Browse. There. Here we go. And let's see. Display. There we go. Just temporarily, you know, obscuring the picture here, but not for more than a minute. See Hergen's Bridge towards the upper left. It's the only bridge that can cross the Redstone River all the way up to Kaz-Karzan, which is a major dwarven town, but a fairly xenophobic one. Non-dwarves are not let in. The road that goes off to the left goes up to Aurora Pass, which then leads into Norden lands. Dragon Lake down below is also Norden. Redmaw is a Norden town. Actually, it's the westernmost. David's character, Catspaws, is from Duskdale to the lower center, you know, in the Kingdom of Redgate. They are not the ruling family there, but they are, again, minor nobility. So yeah, Harrigan's Bridge is basically the last stop before the long, long trip up over Aurora Pass and to the Sky Sea, which is also known as the Lake of the Moon, this giant alpine lake. And so again, it's the last bastion of civilization before trouble. There you go. Yeah. All right. Exactly. Yeah, I'm actually starting to flesh out your family. So it's also along with Peak and Thatch, who are also from Redgate. All the other members of the party are from much further south.
Yep.
So I imagine sooner or later they're going to go back to Redgate, because I mean that's their home. It's actually the closest major city to where they are. Spire Vale, which is that forest area, is dominated by off the roads by Fae.
Mm-hmm. Stay on the roads.
Stay on the roads. Silver Cross is the big town in the say in the middle, and if anybody can be said to be at least among the civilized races, the Lord of Silver Cross would probably be it. He is rumored to be a sorcerer of some sort. Hello, Mimir. And hello, War Skunk. And who else we got that's new? Yeah. Actually, Gray, just about the same as again Peak and Thatch. Peak actually, she spent a lot of her time wandering back and forth between Aberdeen, Redgate, and Ashburn. It was actually between Ashburn and Redgate that she was bonked on the head and kidnapped at the beginning of the game. They started the game in chains. Isn't that great? So, you're thinking of Madam Hepzibah from Pogo. Yeah. All right, it is 7:29.
Well, let me switch cameras here.
Yeah. Hey, I think I see somebody new. Skeletal Grip. Are you new? If so,
I think so.
Yeah. If so, then I say welcome. If not, then I say welcome back.
All right.
Anybody else going over the list? Okay, I think we've seen Doc Who's before. Who else? Luan Pone, hello, I think you're new. If so, welcome. Yeah. If not, welcome back. I pushed the button here.
Yeah. Ender Dragon, what do I think of Season 8 so far? It's been okay.
Yep. I'm 2 episodes behind myself. So.
Right, so I'm kind of holding my judgment on it. It's got potential.
Yep, from other folks who are trying really hard to spoil it for us. Apparently, this morning's episode's pretty good.
All right.
So we'll see.
Yes.
Who else we got here? Looking down the list. Yeah, okay.
Are those spurs on her heels? Yes, they are, Rebel.
Yes, they are. All right. So we're going to take a 5-minute break, folks.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to stretch. We're going to run around in little circles. We're going to be biological. You should too.
Mm-hmm.
We will see you guys in 5.
Mm-hmm.
Bye.
Bye.
We have ways of interrogating you. We shall do terrible things to you until we get the answers that we need.
Mm-hmm. And, hey, Jelly Bear, are you new?
Welcome, whether or not.
Yep.
Either way. So, okay, we are into hour number 3. What the heck you gonna do for hour number 3, sir?
Well, hour number 3, I am going to be working on some Vivian. I showed the earlier studies earlier tonight of her, and we're going to be working on that some more. We want to finalize it. Like I say,
yep.
I've got an idea.
Sir, that's probably going to be hour 4.
Yeah. And so we're going to be working on that just because, like I said, I got a feeling that Corwin's going to ask me to be doing some more future stuff with the character. So I'm going to get myself kind of very familiar with the character.
We now have a jelly bear, damn bear, and a brown bear. Them damn jelly brown bears. Yep.
So many bears. We can bear it.
Yep.
Torque Corwin. Good dude.
Yeah, and we don't want to be coercing people.
Nope. I can hardly bear it. Yeah.
You should go draw.
Yes, I'll go draw. Before they start. I'm not very proud of them, though. They're doing very good on their puns. They're doing very good.
They are.
Yes.
They are. Oh, you do. I have to check the date, but I think it's next weekend. Worldcon is in San Jose this year, and Spider Robinson is well enough. He's going to be hosting Callahan's.
Oh.
I just might go.
Yes, probably the last one.
Well, he's old.
Yes.
He's old.
Yes, he is old.
Yeah.
I am a stealth bear. Okay.
Okay.
And more scotch.
Yeah. To the person who is whispering me, we can talk about this not on the show. All right, let's see. Let's go push here, and there's a button right here. You got to get you one of these right here, and click that button right there. Let me see there. I'm going to go to Sandy, and it says draw. Poof.
Yes.
All right.
Ready. So,
Yep. So, what do we got here? Oh, there we go.
what about the drunken sailor? What do you do for drunken sailor?
Oh my God. I'm going to go wood for BBQ.
Yeah.
Puns are very polarizing.
Okay.
Yeah. All right. So, who else we got going here? Just make one more pass through. Going down the list. I've seen you folks before. I've said hello to you folks. Well, I say hello to everyone there, so there. Hello. Who else we got?
Hello.
One time we've said hello.
Hello.
To you. And then we have, yep. Skittles Addict. Are you new? If so, welcome. If not, welcome back. Either works for me. How about you? Glasses. Well, if you see the black framed glasses there, then
Which I'm changing right now. Ha 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 ha.
Okay, who wins? Muddifer wins. Muddifer wins.
Yeah.
I'm going to torture you guys a little bit because I have not done guitar torture for a while. Volume dropped. That's just probably because double check the location of your microphone, Baron, and that it's aimed at your pie hole.
Okay, hang on here. Make sure it's aimed up here straight and everything. Oh, let's make sure my little fuzzy thing's on too. Good. Okay, let's see here. That's aimed straight up. How's that sound? Is that better, folks? Okay. Well,
And you survived, Braun?
Yeah. Okay, so sound check here. How do I sound? Even over Caird playing the guitar. Do I sound okay? Oh, okay, well done then. Much better. That's what we want.
I just hadn't busted this thing out in a while. I'm actually probably going to sell this guitar and get a different one because I don't play it very much. So, you know.
Is it just my imagination, or do you, if you own a guitar, you don't own one guitar?
No, you don't. There's no such thing as one guitar.
It's like one tattoo.
Exactly.
Or one piercing.
Yeah, so if anybody wants an Ibanez Artcore AG95, talk to me. It's in great condition. You know, it's never been abused, and you know, we'll see 100%. Ibanez, it's pretty. It's so pretty. Is it a lefty? No, it's not. You know, it's a very standard. Let's see.
Oh, but you got a chance to say hi to Amy at BabsCon.
Oh, Brom, why are you alive? Why are you alive?
Yeah.
Made the comment that he thought that Ellison's writing reflected the wet dreams of a sci-fi and raptured teen. Well, that would be the Again Dangerous Visions collection. But, oh, yeah. Yeah. You got to understand, Harlan Ellison back in the late 50s and early 60s, okay, he's about 5'2". But he was a civil rights activist, and he would get into fist fights with cops. And then get thrown in jail, and then get out, and then next time they brought out the water cannons and were hosing down black people, he would go and try and beat up cops. So yeah, he is one tough little bastard. Wow. Now this is a standard layout. It's not like Jimi Hendrix layout or anything like that. So just Ibanez. Ibanez. Low E, like low E, high E. You always own one guitar, then life destroys them.
Yeah. I mean, I know there was like, was it B.B. King had Lucille?
Yes, that was his special.
Yeah. And apparently he like ran into a burning club at one point to pull the thing out.
Well, musicians, the same thing.
Yeah.
Get mighty attached to their instruments. You know, there are some exceptions. Mick Collins of the Dirt Bombs, who knows Dusty. They go back as friends a long time. The Dirt Bombs are one of those bands that most people haven't heard of, but your favorite musicians have.
Yeah.
One of those influencer bands.
Like T-Rex and Warren
Right.
Zevon.
Yeah, basically Mick Collins and a few others in more or less came up with the entire genre of Detroit garage punk.
Mm-hmm. So your Foo Fighters stuff and everything like that.
And he buys the cheapest guitars he can because he beats the living crap out of them. You know, if it lasts more than 5 or 6 shows, it's a miracle.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, whatever happened to Cats Laughing? They got together again recently. That's a Stephen Bruce's band. They had a reunion thing at a recent convention. So him and Jen Phalion, Emma Bull.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But yeah, they were. I think it was about 3-4 months ago.
Oh.
Yeah. Yeah. So the only difference between a lefty and a righty is where the G string's located. Well, it basically they say the lefty and righty, they invert the if it's an asymmetrical head, they invert it, and the high E string is on the top, the low E string is on the bottom. So basically it goes, instead of going heavy to light, it goes light to heavy, and then you play it this way. Actually, Jimi Hendrix did that.
Proud, as far as how many fingers she's going to get, I'm going to have to look at the photograph and see how many they've given the reference.
All you saw was G string, Bettina would be proud. Yeah, well, yeah. So how many fingers is random am I getting? Just the one.
Yeah.
Just the one that communicates the most.
Yeah, like I say, I don't know how many fingers I'm going to put on there because I haven't drawn the character yet. I literally, when I do some of these drawings, these are like cold calls.
Vilu, maybe in some tunings, but this is low E.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. E, A, D, G, B, E. So that's E. At least, again, in standard tuning. If you have a short scale guitar, we've got an update for you. Go away, Microsoft. Go away.
Now.
On a short scale guitar, the scale is the distance from the nut to the bridge. On most guitars, it's around 25 and a half inches. On short scale guitars, it's about 22. And the best tuning for those is, it starts with G as the low string and goes up just, again, G is a higher note than E.
Hi, Binky.
Now, here's your E. Here's your G. So, E. And then your G. There you go.
And actually, I want to throw a question out because we had Binky just show up.
Yeah.
And that is, we have a whole bunch of new people here tonight who have shown up. And the question I have is, how did you find us? Was it because
How the hell did you get there?
Yeah, were you found us because we were on the front page? Did you follow my Twitter or something I posted on DeviantArt or Patreon? Just kind of curious because we got some new folks and we want to say hi.
Yeah. Yeah. So Vilu, standard tuning, E is both a low and the high. E, low, high. They're just up a couple octaves.
Mm-hmm.
So.
No, welcome, Binky. I'm Baron, a guy playing the guitar. That's Caradwin, and we do this every other Saturday night.
Yep. The bass is EADG is standard tuning, and that's basically the exact same as EADG, EADG, except one octave down. So, my dog has fleas.
Yes.
My Varg has fleas.
Yep, that'd probably be me. I don't think there's many other artists out there going by the name Baron Engel. Working on Patreon rewards tonight for folks.
Follow the empty shot glasses of scotch to find the stream. Well, that's a pretty reliable way.
Yep.
We set aside this instrument of torture here.
Speaking of scotch,
Yeah.
more of the fine 17-year-old Balvenie.
Nom 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 nom. There we go. Okay, and we'll put the guitar at a safe distance where it can harm you no more.
Mmm.
I will use keyboards for that. There we go. All right. And we will reconnect.
Thank you, Ron.
Time flies like an arrow. Fruit flies like a banana. Delicious. Found you randomly looking for Ricardo, but we're glad you did too.
I always get lured in by the keyboards.
Yeah. Yeah, there you go. Okay, I'm connected again. Yep, keyboards. What are the keyboards? This is a Roland XP30 from early 2000s, late 90s. I really like it. Even though the sounds are, by modern standards, not quite, as great as they could be, I still like it. It's because the key bed itself got a great feel to it. It's very expressive, has aftertouch, velocity sensitive, pressure sensitivity. You can really, modulate things, particularly on things like, flute patches and stuff like that. The piano, digital piano here, is a Yamaha it's a DPG 650, digital piano Grand 650B for black. Yeah, so.
No generic. When I'm working with OMS, I make certain it's kept in a very different location that I keep my drink.
Is that bitter experience, or have you dodged that bullet?
No, that is actual bitter experience.
Yum.
I didn't swallow anything, but boy, does that ruin your sense of taste for the rest of the day. I was dreadfully afraid that I had done some kind of permanent damage. The same way, always, if you're spraying fixative on a picture, check before you spray that the can is not aimed at your face. My wife, Smudge, had an instructor in college who made that mistake. And of course, it was one of the older brands of fixative when they really had some exciting stuff. And one of the chemicals they used was acetone, and he sprayed it in his eyeball.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah, effectively freeze-dried his eyeball.
So, yeah. This keyboard up here I mostly use just for drones and, the company and stuff like that. I am not a very good, musician of any stripe. I just mess around. I don't read music. I know very few songs. But that being said, I know a few chords, so I just, arpeggiate the heck out of them. And so we call it
You do
music.
freestyle.
I'm freestyling. Yo.
Yeah, you're correct, Teal Dragon. At one point, OSHA used to list graphic design as one of the most dangerous art profession, or one of the most dangerous work professions in the United States. It was right up there of like deep shaft coal mining and working on oil drilling crews because of all the chemicals that were used. Well, this is the first time I am really drawing a full body figure of this character. I have gone back and forth with Corwin, and we've worked out details of his. No, Zumi, this is not going to be a skunk. This is going to be a mink. So it is kind of a mustelid.
It's Slinky Stinky Minky.
It's kind of a mustelid themed evening, but.
Just the main. Does it look better? Let's see. Of course, it's going to look better. Let's see. Yeah. That works.
All right.
That works.
Yeah.
Get some shading in there, a couple
Yeah.
reflection spots on the eyeballs, and you are done. Ship it.
Good night, Ongi.
Good night, Angie. Yeah.
Glad you could join us tonight.
Yeah, there we go. Urgh. Things so gorgeous. They're also insane, like most, like most weasels. They know no fear. It's not wired into them. Agni, no. No, stop. Stop. Relax. Burning the hell out of signer says, oh yeah, I sat right next to the blueprint machine in drafting class in high school. It sucked. But let's see what else we got here. Any other new folk going down the list? Nith, are you new? If so, welcome. If not, welcome back. The standard line. Good night, Peruser.
Glad you could join us.
Yeah. Now the blueprint machine is a thing of the past, and we do not miss it. Hello, Blepe or Blep. Either way, welcome. What else we got? Okay. Yeah, ammonia does wake up in a hurry. That's why they, so smelling salts, they will get your attention real damn quick. And the thing about the idea of smelling salts is that what a lot of people don't realize is that the smell center in the brain is one of the oldest parts of the brain. It's way down in the core, and it's also right next to a lot of the stuff that controls physiology. So if you have a sudden, very, very strong smell stimulus, it will tend to kick open the other parts of the brain as well, which sometimes is exactly what you need. Yeah. What real animal's closest to a Renamon? A lot of people say fox, mostly because of the pointy face.
Yep.
And kind of sort of the tail shape. But let's see who we got back here. Hello again. Are you back? Are you back from your Shadowrun Clear Skies, or are you still getting beat up?
Well, I think he's GMing.
Oh, you are. Yeah.
Yeah, I think he's GMing. So.
GM for me, you magnificent bastard.
And back.
Yeah. And we're back. Yeah. Oh, the smell of Ditto. Oh yeah, purple ink.
Oh yeah, Ditto machines. Ooh.
Yeah, mimeographs. Yeah. More and more cladistics are going to genetic relationships. Yeah, no more blueprint copies. We just have large format printers.
Yep.
I've got a printer in my garage that will do 48 inches wide.
Yep.
So it belongs to somebody else, but he lets me, or I let him keep it there in return for printing out stuff once in a while. Captain sensors indicate a clear skies has just got uncloaked to our port quarter. Yeah, he's going to get you all your port and all your masala, and all your dry sack. So yeah.
Well, I'll bet you. Have you been following any of the new video series that they've got up on J. Townsend Sons?
Afraid not.
Backwoods crafting.
Afraid not.
Yeah,
good stuff.
Yeah, it's good stuff. It's from a guy who is kind of studying 18th century woodcraft and how they went about doing certain things, and how really these guys would walk around the woods and you'd see them. They only have like their rifle, their powder flask, a knife, a tomahawk, and that's about it. It's like, well, how did they make all this stuff when they got to camp and everything? And he goes,
they just made it, yeah.
Yeah, and he's going in and talking about it. It's really fascinating. He did a thing on cordage recently. It's like, oh,
yeah. So what's for dinner tonight? Beef stew.
Lots of mushrooms.
With lots of mushrooms.
Ooh.
Yeah. Baron doesn't get to have mushrooms at home because one of the members of his household has an allergy to them.
Very allergic to them.
Yeah. So, but yeah. So it's mushroom stew, beef mushroom stew, where the beef has been going for a while. I mean, the house was properly filled with smoke earlier on from searing the pieces of beef. And again, the smoke is totally worth it.
Open a window.
Yeah, exactly. It gets that really, really nice flavor in. And let's see, we're doing another one of those cauliflower cheese casseroles on the side there. I have to low carb, so you know. But yeah, it's going to be good stuff. Drop the mushrooms, extra potato for more sloth power. No, there's carrot and there's onions, etc. But again, I have to watch the carbs, so no potatoes because it's starch.
Red wine?
I can have some red wine. I don't know if Brian's putting red wine in it. Or
Okay.
Not. Yeah, dry red wines like Cabernets and Pinots are just fine.
Yeah.
3 grams of carbs per standard 5-ounce glass.
Mm-hmm.
So what do you use as reference for poses like these prior to the internet, making it easier to look things up? Playboy.
That and I have a little 5.5-inch or 8-inch tall wooden mannequin I use for posing, and a lot of it is just simply running it back and forth through my head like a camera until I get the pose at the point I want.
Yep.
And there are some cases maybe I'm not mentally running it back and forth, but I let Patina basically run the editing deck.
Yep.
And she goes, "This is good. Go with this."
Yep. Indeed. Carrots, taters, and celery. The Holy Trinity. Well, actually, the Trinity is celery, onions, and carrots. That's mirepoix.
Mm-hmm.
Mirepoix. It is French.
And it is very wonderful.
It's one of the foundations.
Of Cajun cooking too.
Yeah. Well, Cajun cooking is very heavily French influenced.
Even though quite often they'll substitute carrots for bell peppers.
Which there's another term for that.
But I go back to when I'm doing Cajun style, I put back the carrots because my household's not as big on bell peppers. Yeah, it's wonderful.
Cabbage in beef stew, absolutely, absolutely. Again, people who are low carbing, you can shred cabbage and sort of, kind of use them in a way that you might use, just like noodles, not like for pasta or anything silly like that. But it will give you some of that texture. Yes, doggos go bork, bork, bork. Now, the thing about bell peppers, well, that again, it depends. But I have to watch the bell peppers at least for the next week or two, particularly the red ones because they're sweeter.
Yeah, I like bell pepper as a flavoring. I'm not really a big one on its texture, but it does serve a purpose in cooking. I basically substitute in other things to give me some of the same flavors.
Yeah, and of course the other thing is depends on whether it's cooked or not. Raw bell peppers have a very, very different texture.
Right, and the problem I have with bell peppers is if they're overcooked, they take on a texture that I really, really, really don't like. That rubbery texture, no good. Yeah. No good, all bad.
Yeah, cat's paw is a mutt, by the way. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's good. Yeah, I think he had some German and some English, and basically, everywhere where the Vikings stirred the pot. Yeah, I am Russian and German, and a little bit of French Canadian, and on that part of the French Canadian part, a little tiny bit, like 1/16 Iroquois.
I am mostly.
If I was 1/8, I could claim Amerind status.
I am primarily just German and Norwegian. I burn like, nobody's business in the sun.
Yeah. Yeah, okra overcooked is gross. A lot of stuff overcooked is gross.
Yeah.
The thing with okra is that the smaller the okra, the younger it is, the better. And you want the small ones, maybe 2.5 inches long, like that big, if you're going to be doing like deep fried okra, which is wonderful.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
There are a couple of dishes from J. Townsend's Cooking 18th Century that I want to try this summer. I'm going, this looks really, really good. We tried switchel last year and we're not happy with it, but then I won't try it again because I don't think I used the right kind of molasses. And I'm mostly going to try it with honey, which apparently was one of the other ways it was made.
Yeah, Brown Bear, turnips show up on stage 3 of the Atkins diet. So, soon. Let's see what else we got. Yeah, actually, the other day, Brian made up some stuffed cabbage that was wonderful. Maybe we'll do that for the game. Maybe we'll do that for the game.
Cabbage is very good. The problem is just don't you either cook it too long and it gets that kind of sulfury smell, or then you don't cook it longer and get rid of it.
Well, again, if you're doing stuffed cabbage, you boil the whole cabbage head, and then cut off the really thick woody part at the bottom there, and throw away the water because a lot of the sulfur goes away with that. And then you have your your mixture. You put it in and bake them up. And so again, whatever sauce. I mean, some people, if you want to be very simple about it, ketchup. Brian made up a custom sauce. I'm not sure what was in it, but it was again, no sugar added or anything like that, and it was delicious. Oh my God, it was good.
Full of awesome.
Yep.
Because that's what he makes.
Yep. Yeah. Okra comes ultimately from Africa, so yeah, it figures into soul food, and and again, it's one of the things that came in through African cuisine involuntarily. So yeah. Nizumi, I got to say, Baron, that this slinky mink has all the right to get up the whipping boots. Oh yeah. Be nice to her. So
And a bridle.
Well, there you go.
Bridle and reins.
Oh yeah. Somebody gonna get a ride. Yep.
Yes, they are.
Yep.
Like I say, Corwin and I have gone back and forth on this character quite a bit. So we've worked out some of the details about her and what exactly she's doing.
Yep. All right, see you later on, monkey. Noodles. Bonsoir. Bonjour.
Actually, I'm going to make those reins a little bit longer.
Oh, this is good scotch.
Yes.
Borcon, are you new? I see you quietly there. Aha, but you're called into the light. Welcome. If you're not new, then welcome back. Oh, gotta go back to the list again here.
By the way, Clear Skies, next time you come out for BabsCon, I'm willing to spring for the ingredients. I'm interested to see you make your anime meat on a bone. He makes this anime meat on a bone that looks really good. It's a composite dish, but Lord Almighty, does it look tasty.
One of these days I need to do some, Braunschweiger, yeah.
Oh, Braunschweiger?
Yeah.
Oh, I love Braunschweiger.
Yeah.
Braunschweiger with bacon.
Big old haunch wrapped in bacon.
Yep, and you have that on.
Nom.
Yeah, it makes great sandwiches. Braunschweiger and Swiss cheese. On rye bread with lots of mustard and dill pickles.
Let's say Clear Skies has found a fellow Korean ancestry.
Yeah,
I like me some Korean barbecue. I'll tell you that.
Oh yeah. Yes, Smudge found a really great Korean barbecue place of all places at Valley Fair Shopping Center, and they had wonderful boneless short rib sandwiches, which were the bomb.
Let's see. Yeah, there's a whole bit about poor people who learn to cook. It's like, well, one of the reasons why food scarce societies tend to have such excellent cuisines, in my opinion, is that food is valued more. In a food rich society, it's like, yeah, I don't have time to eat. Yeah, what can I push down my throat? I mean, the concept of fast food, of course, is 20th century, but convenience food goes way back. But it's mostly in, again, societies where food was relatively plentiful. But cuisines, like most of the tropical cuisines, tropical and subtropical, by that I mean Indian, Ethiopian, Northern African, Mexican. I don't know a whole lot about South American cuisines. Of course, everybody knows about the meat fountain, Brazilian. That's where you get meat on swords. But that's like a special case. I'm talking about house food, everyday food. But again, I just noticed that all my favorite cuisines are tropical cuisines, subtropical, and again, these are all societies in which fuel is limited, wood to cook your fire on.
Or you're cooking on dung.
Yeah, and in which, again, food is scarce, so you treasure it, so you treat it right. It's like, and this is a good attitude to have.
It was actually kind of interesting talking about convenience food and everything. There's an excellent book series called Life in the 19th Century. Where they have one called Cooking in the 19th Century, and it did a lot to basically, for lack of a better word, break my masterpiece theater opinion of the 19th century by pointing out that it actually is one of the most tumultuous and most upheaval in modern times. And one of the things that happened was a lot of the workers who worked in the factories and everything, the apartments they lived in didn't have proper kitchens. So they literally ate out every day. That was their dining. Or
You know, hell, back in Rome, you know, ancient
Yeah.
Rome, you know, 1,000,000 people in a city, you know, at 0 AD.
yeah,
They had the same thing.
Yeah.
Most of the people there didn't cook.
yep.
You know,
And-
street food was food.
Yep, and they were talking about the fact that in an effort to actually increase cooking, they came up with gas stoves that were coin operated. So it's like, okay, instead of paying a monthly gas bill, which you might not be able to afford,
Show up with your pans and say and put in a quarter.
or you had a stove in your kitchen, you just simply put in so many pennies or shillings, and you got gas for 2 hours or however long it was, and then it shut off. So like, oh, so a lot of these things we kind of think about today, and also in 1902, in fact, I thought it was very fascinating. In 1902 and 2002, in 1902, the British Army released a report where they complained about the fact that so much of the population was ineligible for military service because they were in such miserable condition because of diet and health. In 2002, the British Army released a report where they stated that an awful lot of the British population was ineligible for service in the Army because their health was so bad. Now, in that case, it was because of obesity and everything, but I found it fascinating that literally 100 years later, people were still complaining about the same thing for different reasons. And 1902 is because of vitamin deficiency and, you know, a whole raft of other things, but 100 years later, people are still going, we have this problem.
Yep. Well, again, as you change from a say from a labor-based, you know, economy to a knowledge worker economy, people going, yeah, again, people sit on their butts and with the problems that come with it.
That's it. Good one. Do you have any previous story of games?
Yeah, I don't know much about Toonstruck, so I would not be the right person to ask. I'm afraid. You know, it's not a game I played. Let's see, but yeah, as far as long haul trucking, hey, we got one right here.
Yeah.
Ari Coyote, that's what he does.
Yeah, or did.
Yeah, okay, he retired.
Yeah, he's retired.
Smart man.
Yeah, it's hard on the body, very hard.
Oh, it is. It is. You know, again, because even with those, you know, really cushy seats and all that they have in the long haul, you know, truckers, it still beats you up.
Yeah.
You know, the human body was not designed to sit all day.
And then you have to, well, you sit all day, then you get out of your vehicle and you do hard work.
Yeah.
And their diet's not all that great because you're trying to eat what's on the road.
Yeah. Well, again, you know, so people talk about truck stop food. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. The greasy spoons. Yeah.
And Luhan Pone, are you new?
Yeah. So I think he said that he arrived from Front Page.
Oh, okay. Well,
I think
welcome,
so.
welcome, welcome.
Either way, yeah.
I'm glad you're
So-
joining us tonight.
Yeah.
What time we got? It was 8:09. Okay, I'm making pretty good time progress.
Yeah, so but if anybody else can offer insight about, say about, you know, Toonstruck, hey, by all means, you know,
Chime
let's
in.
have it. Yeah.
Also, too, I will throw something out right now because I know there's a lot of people who actually tune into the stream that actually draw during it. And, you know, they kind of tune in and they get kind of in the zone to want to do art by watching me do art. And so if you've got a deviant art or some type of thing and it's safe for work,
Throw it out there.
throw it out there.
Yep. Show us your stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Show us your etchings. Yeah. And speaking of showing etchings and stuff and places to get materials to get etchings, it's time for our hourly duty.
That's
Why,
right.
Yes. What would that hourly duty be, and to whom is that hourly duty? Well,
Well, I'm really happy to hear that because, boy, an awful lot of them have not.
Yeah. Yeah, it used to be a third of budget of the most people. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Webster, show us.
Mm-hmm.
And while you're showing us, and while Binky is vectoring, and while Brown Bear is working on a new story, I'm going to say thank you to University Art for sponsoring Barron by keeping him supplied in art supplies. University Art is a high-end art supply and framing store with branches in Sacramento, Redwood City, and San Jose, California. They have a knowledgeable sales staff who are all artists themselves. They are not on commission, so they will sell you the right thing, not the most expensive thing. They have workshops, they have seminars, they have demonstrations, they have craft fairs. And I will mention again, their framing shop is, I think, one of the best in the entire state. So I don't trust my framing to anybody else. They have also been kind enough to occasionally loan us their employees to come on the stream and do demonstrations of their own, particularly Jeff Bromschreiber and Jaya King. So we want to say thank you to University Art for helping us out, for putting up with Barron for 20 years. We know they occasionally lurk the channel, so everybody say, hi, Mike. Hi,
Hi, Jeff.
Yeah. So, The duty is now done for another hour. Hooray. Weep, pew. Haha. Let's see, what do we got here? Carew, safe enough. Yeah, let's take a look what you got. What you got? Uh-oh, it's under the Dora sexy. Oh, yes. I liked that one. I like that one a lot.
Thorax.
Yeah, that's stupid sexy thorax. Yeah, I like that picture. I remember that one well. Deathlight, let's see what you got. Deathlight, okay. Oh, somebody's got that Bishonen hair going.
Yep.
Yeah, I likes me some long hair. I wish I had long hair. I look terrible when I have long hair, particularly because I have none on top anymore. Let's see. Webster, what you got for us?
That should be okay, Millville. As long as it's basically
Princess
safe for work.
Big Mac. This is Princess Big Mac.
Yeah.
Definitely a good sized Big Mac.
Yes. I like Twilight kind of peering around the wing.
Hey, wait a minute. Don't put me in the shade. Who else we got? Boom, 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 boom.
Hey, Duka.
Where's
I
Tail?
don't think I've said hi to you tonight.
I'll read that later. There we go. Yeah, Battle Axe. 40 years on the road, 7.25 million miles. Oh, yeah. Oh, go, Vilu, absolutely go for it. Absolutely go for it. You know, like I said, links are fine as long as you're safe for work and as long as you don't, do 7 million of them.
Yeah, don't spam the box.
Yep. Yeah, Deathlight, I used to too way long time ago. But I have really fine hair, and people with really fine hair need to watch that hairline because something's going to happen to it. But yeah, I had hair halfway down to my butt.
I remember when you had really long hair.
Yeah.
When I first met you, and you had really long hair.
Yep.
Of course, I remember when Dusty had really long hair. I never had long hair because my hair would never behave when I got long. It got
Well, it's a different
unruly.
kind of hair. Yeah.
It got completely unruly.
Oh, nice meal. That's nice.
Oh yes.
Yeah. It's
Very good. I like the lighting effects on it.
yeah, good anatomy too.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see.
But a lot of the lighting lets you see the anatomy.
And let's take a look at Lowen Pones. Ah, cute stuff. Okay,
Nothing wrong
definitely
with
click the button and browse gallery. Let's take a look here. What you got? Not sure. Oh no, I have to push.
Yes,
the button
Cat Spot,
and
you're
log
lucky.
in.
You can still do long hair and make it look good.
Everybody steal Cat Spot's hair.
No.
All right, there we go. Click. Yep, that's a flutterbutt. Yep,
Oh yeah.
shiny. Let's see what we got here. And one last from tonight from Webster. Okay, one more, take a look. And we got. Yeah, that's cute. All right. Nice stuff. You guys are so creative. Love it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, let's take a look at Teal Dragon's stuff here. Clickety click. Very intense. Very intense.
Almost iconic.
Well, it looks like something you would see. It probably came from one anime or another. I mean, definitely has that Princess Mononoke thing going on.
Actually, I think it's a video game that was based off of.
Yeah.
I'm trying to remember what
Princess Pokemon. Pokemon. Yeah. Let's pretend I can speak. Yeah. Yeah, that was definitely $100 commission. That was definitely you got
your money's worth.
Yep.
Yeah, one of the things I sometimes just absolutely blanch in horror is how little artists sometimes value their own artwork. It's like, yeah,
No.
you have spent years refining your craft, committing yourself, and studying to this. Don't sell yourself short. And that also comes down to, the time on your piece. I mean, I may be able to do this in like an hour and 15
Be nice, Bravo. Let's see. Let's take a look at Orca here.
Yeah.
Reacquainted and it feels so good. Oh, yes. I remember that episode.
Yes.
Yeah.
From the original Far
Yeah,
Station.
that was the premiere of Next Gen.
Pilot.
And it's this crossover value here because John Delancey showed up in it as Q.
Yes.
There you go. It was the entire point.
And I actually had
How do you handle this stuff? Yeah.
I had a very, 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 very brief meeting with John Delancey at BabsCon. I actually got a chance to say hello to him. He was obviously very, very busy. I was too busy. I did not get a chance to go to his story reading that he did at the convention.
And Nuzumi says, I finally found something safe for work. Oh, boy. Yeah. It was a mouse und Panzer. Yeah. Yeah. Say tough. I say some people. Yeah. You know, this is Princess Macintosh. E-up. Yeah. Picardo has about half a dozen different backbone providers going into the Montreal data center. It's called peering, and it looks like at least, and you know, your connection to say to Picardo goes in through one of those, depending on where you're coming from.
Mm-hmm.
And it sounds like one of them's having troubles.
Oh,
Most people are like, yeah, I've got no trouble, but 3 or 4 people, it's like, yeah, it's dropping all the time. So
yeah.
sorry. You know.
And unfortunately, nothing we can do on our end about that part.
The only suggestion I would have is get one of those free VPN services. But again, that would introduce additional latency. But hey, give it a shot. You know, there's a lot of free VPN services. Yes, they're actually watching, you know, what you do, and they're the ones selling what you do. But if you just fire it up just for this purpose, only when Picardo is behaving badly, then you got at least some chance of getting a clean stream.
Yeah. But at least it's not like the one time on the backhoe, basically. The dread enemy of service providers.
So tell us, Be Fire King, tell us your Delancey story. Share. Oh yes, John is definitely a connoisseur of the fine wines.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, by the way, if you ever want to get on Lauren Faust's good side, get her
Pinots.
a Pinot Noir. Get her a good one.
Mm-hmm.
Send her home with a bottle of Pinot, because she is a Pinot monster.
Yep.
It's her favoriteest. Nicole Oliver, Princess Celestia and Cheerly. She likes Pinot Grigio with a single ice cube in it.
Oh, she likes Pinot Grigio?
She does.
That's my favorite white wine.
Yeah.
That is my favorite white wine. And yes,
Well, there you go. You are secretly Nicole Oliver.
Well, Princess Celestia's best
Tell
princess.
me a story in Princess Celestia's voice. Make it a good one. Make it a special bedtime story. Tell me a story.
I can't tell anything in the Princess Celestia voice, but I can tell Princess Celestia's story. I've told this one before on the stream, but...
Okay, tell us.
Years ago, and this is like during season... Oh, what time is the name? It's like 8:20, I got 10 minutes. About season 2 to season 3. I am standing in line at the supermarket, and there's a group of 4 guys in front of me, and they all look like they're sent down by central casting as far as we need the middle-aged, middle America, working dads, got a mortgage.
It doesn't get any more Seinfeld than that.
Right. You know, got a mortgage, got kids, all played sports of some type in college and high school, have, you know, kids now who are starting to play sports in, you know, high school or college or junior high. And they were all talking, and they were going on about, you know, well, my son's going to be doing this, and my daughter's going out for this. And one of them commented the fact that his son was going out for track and field. And it was very obvious that they were good friends and they'd known each other. And it was that way that good friends can basically rib each other in a way that is like, if you walked up and tried doing that, there'd be hell to pay. And one of them, one of the guys in the group who was commenting about, you know, your son's going out for track and field, says, well, yeah, that doesn't surprise me. Your kid loves that My Little Pony stuff and everything. And, you know, the dad went, yeah, ha, 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 funny. He goes, yeah, but it's a good show, and, you know, it teaches some good lessons and everything like that. And the rest of his friends kind of went, yeah, you know we're joking. And he went, yeah, I know. And then the conversation kind of ends for a few seconds. And then the dad, the son who was going out for track and field, very just softly kind of says, and besides, Princess Celestia is kind of hot. And all of his friends kind of turn and look at him, and there's like this moment of, did you just say that? And the dad goes, what? She is. She's kind of hot. And I remember when we went down for the dinner at the Silmar Wildlife Center, I got a chance to convey that message in that story to Lauren. And the look on Lauren's face when she had this realization that grown men were sitting in a supermarket checkout line, and one of them was talking about the fact that he found a particular character from her series that she'd helped create hot. This is kind of, I'm somewhat conflicted. Look going across her face. It was very, very amusing.
Well, of course, Celestia is hot. She's
yes.
Celestia is best princess.
That's
so
right.
There, she's Pony Jesus.
Mm-hmm. She is best princess.
Yeah.
Applejack is
she's
best
Pony Jesus that has a nice butt.
Yeah. She is best princess. Applejack is best pony.
So, well, yeah, I agree. We are in lockstep on that.
Yes.
Let's see what we got here.
Praise the sun. Yeah.
Luna is best princess. Luna is best adventure princess.
Oh, is Sophie going to be the BabsCon chairhead again? Sophie's great. Sophie,
yeah. Sophie has her head screwed on straight.
Yeah, well, Sonia rather.
Sonia has her head screwed on straight.
Yeah, Sonia. It's really easy to deal with. You know, very practical, and which of course meant that she would get completely swamped when other con divisions, that they're divisional directors, would not do their jobs. She would do them for them.
Yeah.
And she basically got burned out for a while because she was,
Well, I hope that this time around she gets herself a staff that actually does their part, holds up there at the bargain, so she doesn't get burned out.
Yeah.
Because it's a convention. I mean, I will say this year, the convention seemed to be a lot better run. Apparently, they were understaffed, but
they had but at least they had good people at the
right
board of directors, or not board of directors, the director level.
Well, the important thing is that I never experienced any of that friction, and that's the way it should be. If you can have drama on a convention staff,
and there's always drama. The question is, do you see it?
Yeah, but you want it not to be seen by the public. You don't want to see the dirty underwear. You want to basically just go on, show up, get your badge, and have a great weekend. And I had a great time at BabsCon. We had no problems getting our tables set up. We had no problems getting our hotel room.
Exactly. Now that's the thing, and I'm going to be a little opinionated here, because again I've been there. I was actually offered the position of con chair of Further Confusion, and I turned it down.
Because you're sane.
Well, and because of some of the people. The one of the issues is that everybody has talents.
Mm-hmm.
And particularly folks who can function at the director level, they all have specific talents. The problem is that some people want to do things and insist very loudly
that
upon
they do
doing
things
that they are not suited for. You have somebody who's incredibly technical but not strongly social, and they want to be guest of honor liaison.
Mm-hmm.
That's a bad fit.
Yep.
They should be running tech ops.
Yep.
Or you have somebody, who can't balance their checkbook, but they want to be treasurer.
Yep.
Or you have say somebody, who knows the history of fandom in and out, knows all the personalities. They want to be hotel liaison.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, no, you need somebody that knows how to read a contract.
Yep.
And so and when they don't get it, they get really loud about it.
Mm-hmm.
They can't take no for an answer. And BabsCon for a while had that going pretty badly.
Yep.
Again, just very smart people, all of whom were in the. There's a joke. In heaven,
and if you're of a particular nationality, it's just a joke. We're not saying this about your nationality.
Except for British food, I mean it. In heaven, the British are the police, the French are the lovers. The Italians are the drivers. They got all the joke there. In hell, the English are the cooks, the Germans are the police, the Swiss are the lovers. And and again, you need to play to your strengths. And some con committees get sort of choked by people who are talented but insist upon playing the wrong role.
It's the one thing that the one charity that we like to do fundraisers for, Second Harvest Food Bank.
They're not afraid to say no.
No, and they put people in the right place, and that's why when you give money to Second Harvest Food Bank, 98 cents of your dollar actually goes to the mission statement of the charity.
Yeah, again, if you go to Charity Navigator and you say, show me the top, and charitynavigator.org is a website where you can check out how good a charity is, how much of your donation actually goes to the mission, how much of it goes into their CEO's pockets, how much of it goes into marketing, how transparent are they, how open, do they share their books, do they file all their taxes, do they make those tax forms public? And Second Harvest Food Bank is always in the top 10 of the nation, of like the 50,000 charities that they track. It's in the top 10.
And I'm very, very sad as an artist that most of the art foundations don't even make the top 100. It's like, oh.
Well, again, not to say anything about artists, or musicians or whatever it is, but there's the personality types that make for good musicians and good artists often are not the right people who want to waste their time or say about mundane things.
Okay,
which is why a team where you have an artist and a business manager is so strong.
Okay, B Fire King is asking a question basically as far as vendors and everything. What do we, as far as feedback? My biggest thing is I think in some ways the convention is 10 pounds of potatoes and a 5-pound sack. It's kind of squeezed tight on a lot of things in that hotel. You did a pretty good job this year about doing the layout. We were informed in a timely fashion so that Clear Skies could make arrangements to buy plane tickets. We could book hotel rooms and everything. But I've never really felt that the Burlingame Hyatt Regency was a good location for the hotel. I know it's hard to find a new hotel, and I understand that supposedly some of the guests of honor and everything really like
the convenience
of being close to San Francisco. But if it moved, like, say, down to McHenry Convention Center or the Santa Clara Convention Center or something like that, I think it would offer up a lot more room and would give a lot more space.
But they wouldn't be able to run late night stuff because the convention centers close their doors early.
I know that is the one. That is the one caveat about it.
That's why further confusion when it was in the convention center was no good.
Yeah. But they moved to McHenry. McHenry is a lot more open about that.
Right.
But McHenry may be too large. I don't know if there's issues with the unions or anything. But I will say, Fire King, if you want some feedback. I've done BronyCon, I've done Everfree Northwest, I've done BabsCon, and when we do BronyCon, we have elbow room. The aisles are huge. There's no traffic problems.
Yes, particularly in the secondary dealers hall, I would be surprised if the fire marshal would have approved. You guys are going 8-foot minimum. You need 12.
Yeah.
If that means fewer dealers, then again, the secondary dealers hall was a very poor experience to get around. The other thing is that there needs to be some consistency about various material. We understand that you guys want to be family friendly, etc., which is why a lot of vendors submitted art in advance and said, "Is this okay?" Yes, this is okay. Then somebody comes along, some deputy, and says, "No, it's not okay." It's like, I'm sorry, your department chair said it was fine.
And we did have
overruled.
And, and I cannot speak on behalf of Clear Skies entirely. I work for him. I'm a very good friend of his, but I'm not, Clear Skies LLC. But we did have an incident on Friday where something that had been approved in advance by the dealer's room and the people who were running it, they came in and said that has to come down. And I was kind of looking around at other things in the dealer's room, and I didn't feel like saying, well, why aren't you going to do this? Why aren't you going to do that? And I didn't want to fight about it because it wasn't my call. But a bit of consistency on that would be really, really good. We took it down. We still sold examples of it, but we didn't have it displayed. But it really does get kind of annoying when you go and get something okayed in advance. You make that effort, and then some junior person on the staff comes in and says, Oh, no, you can't do that.
Yeah, exactly. Why do these people have the idea that they can do that?
And Robert Clear Skies was gone at that time, and I did not feel that I was of a position of authority to make a issue about that, because the last thing I want to do is have Robert come back and find out, hey, we've been kicked out of the dealer's room because I made an issue about this, and we took it down, but it really kind of did rub us the wrong way. Anyway, it is now 8:30. We need to actually switch cameras here.
Like that.
Like so.
Yeah.
All right, we are going to take our last 5-minute break, and then we're going to be back, and we will do the final piece for the last hour.
Yeah, exactly. Be fire. Honor your contracts.
Yeah, yeah, because basically, we signed the agreement, you signed the agreement. There has to be a back and forth, or elsewise, what's the whole point of signing an agreement?
Exactly. All right, folks. Our agreement now is to take a 5-minute break. And the convention committee requires you get up and stretch and
Yes.
be biological. Refill your drinks, and we're going to come back for the final, the final 1 hour. We're going to get some Renamon. Catch you in 5.
Bye. Okay.
You just missed the Thunderbelt. Yeah, there you go. No, actually, it was very petite. It was a tiny bit of that. Yeah.
Yes. And Binky, I hope you've saved. If there's one thing I've learned about digital art, save, and save some more.
Save early, save often.
Often.
You got it.
Yep.
All right.
Okay. Now,
There we go.
some of you folks noticed I had some Renamon reference on my iPad.
Renamon.
And that is because the last piece I'm going to be working on is going to be for McClaw. And McClaw wants me to do something kind of interesting. He wants me to do Renamon as a griffin. McClaw, I'm noticing a trend with you. You like griffins an awful lot. So, yes.
Where's McCall? There we go. There we go. I point it right there. That guy right there. You. There we go.
Yes.
And
Yes.
aha.
Yes.
Stupid camera tricks.
Woo, we can do them for the win.
I get to do that.
So that's going to be my last thing for the last hour tonight. And then,
Griffinomenon.
yeah, no. You try to say that fast.
Griffinomenon. Griffinomenon.
And if you get the reference, you're as old as we are. Think. Switch cameras, and I switch glasses. And I need to get out a piece of paper here too, because I need a working surface.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Thank you, Sonny. You win.
It's time to play the music. It's time to light the light.
Yep. Now I feel old.
That was some really groundbreaking Swedish porno. Yes, it was. Bork. Yeah, definitely not as old. You guys are ancient. I'm older than dirt. See, that dirt, it's new.
I thought it was very amusing that when they had Mark Hamill on the Muppet Show.
Oh yeah, that was good. Some of the best guests: Mark Hamill, Christopher Reeve, James Coburn. Oh, he totally got it.
I thought it was funny because Mark Hamill played Mark Hamill and Luke Skywalker, and they were supposedly two different people.
Yep.
On the show. All right. So, all we got to, and the question was being asked, how many fingers? Well, we're looking at 2 and 3, so that's what I'm going to do for the claws and paws.
The suggestives are fine in Izumi. 50 digibucks for a beach. Yeah, I remember, when Christopher Reeve comes, like, Christopher Reeve! And, of course, eventually made the ham joke. That's it, Buster! And that was, yeah. Oh, Harry Belafonte.
Yeah.
Harry Belafonte and Buddy Rich.
Drum duel. Ha 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 ha.
Oh, I remember when they had Sophia Loren.
Oh, yeah, Sophia Loren, yeah.
And Animal.
Yep.
Sophia Loren!
Yeah.
Yeah, and James Coburn teaching him to Animal, you must be serene.
Serene.
So my favorite character was always Rolf.
Yes.
Rolf the dog, because he was mellow. He just took it in stride. Avenue Q, yeah.
Internet is for porn.
Yeah.
Internet is for porn.
Yes.
Yeah. So if you want, no, if the Avenue Q was mild,
Yeah.
certain Peter Jackson film,
Yeah.
Meet
Yeah.
the Feebles.
Yes.
Holy crap! There was a reason he was run out of New Zealand for a while, because he did that movie with government money.
But that was also the classic example of, and you didn't ask for a synopsis or
Exactly.
some kind of, we'd like to see, maybe not the dailies, but we'd like to see the weeklies.
Yeah. And of course, later on, it became a smash hit, and it's like, yeah, we do, So.
Yeah, I remember one of my coworkers at work found a copy of that on eBay and said, I bought this. I know you like anthropomorphics. What can you say about this? I said, don't have your mother around.
Yep. Yeah, Spitting Image. They also everybody looks like Mr. Potato Head, and Cabbage Patch Kids. They did a video for Genesis.
Yes.
Land of Confusion.
Land of Confusion with Ronald Reagan and everybody. Yeah.
Yep. Correct, Pravo. Yeah, that Rolf.
Yes.
The piano in Dr. Teeth and the Electric Mayhem.
Yes.
The piano dude.
Every bomb you make.
Yeah. I have to explain to your grandmother why there's a lewd Applejack on the wall. Because I couldn't go any farther than lewd. Yeah. Saw a scene from Batman series where Mark Hamill played himself, the Trickster, and the Joker all in the same scene. It is a very confused young man. Yeah, and it's absolutely.
And he was the best voice for the Joker. He was just amazing.
Yeah. There's one the Batman animated movie, The Killing Joke. Not the very best plot. It has a few, again, Batgirl was basically wasted, that kind of. But that final confrontation, or the final scene, it's not a confrontation between Joker and the Batman, where they really come to an understanding about each other's roles in their life. That was good.
Did you ever see the Batman Lego?
No, I've heard good things about that.
It is surprisingly good. It's like, I should not be enjoying this movie so much.
Oh, the song Manamana was from an adult Italian movie. Perfect. Yeah. Naked doesn't necessarily mean lewd. Yes, but no, I won't go any farther. PG.
This is safe for all audiences.
Head canon for ponies that wear fur underwear that matches the natural color, just like Sabrina. It covers all details while in public. Yeah, they just have a don't stare at this magic field.
Yeah, I will actually be working on probably a commission for somebody this year, which is like, okay, this is how characters actually appear in my dreamscape, and no, this is how they really appear. When I usually do drawings, I just leave the junk. I just leave the junk out of the picture.
Welcome back, Calyx. Who else has just got here? Going down the list. Who just got here? You can't hide. We got. Okay, no, I saw you.
I had to do. There was one episode of the Batman animated series that I really rather liked, in which the Joker is approached by a mechanic who makes the observation: if you want to
go for it, Pravo.
Figure out who Batman is, follow the parts, because all the things that the Batmobile uses are custom, one-off, manufactured components. And if you can figure out who's ordering those parts, you can figure out who Batman is. And he goes out and he actually figures it all out, and the Joker realizes that this guy actually is a threat to him and has him offed. And I was like,
oh, that's harsh.
Yeah, it's like, oh, because he went, wait, this guy's smart. He's not just one of my thugs. This guy really has a brain, and he could possibly find out things about me. He's figured out how to trace, basically, follow the money, follow the sex, follow the power.
Yep. Follow the trail. Yeah. Joker's afraid of the IRS. Episode confirmed. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I ended up with a big tax bill once. I don't recommend it. The people say I wouldn't wish it on my worst enemy. No, I would. That's what it's for.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was. That's why we're all very, very, very careful. Ed was very proud of us this year. Last year, our income went up several grand. He says that's very, very good. You need to keep going in that direction. He did make some suggestions to us.
Yep. Peak skill.
And the peak skill, all of a sudden I think of as peak. Oh no, peak has stolen the stream.
Oh, that's not bad, yeah.
It's like service pony.
You look like that nice lady who rubbed my belly. Yeah, exactly. Capone was thrown in jail not for being a gangster, but for tax evasion.
Yep.
When in doubt, go out. Yeah.
I used to be very good friends with the guy who was the initial fellow in charge of security for Netflix. And he got on first name speaking basis with the Postmaster General for the Northern California region. And the number...
This was Brian...
That was Ed Goldstein.
Ed Goldstein. Oh, Ed Goldstein. Okay, yeah. I dealt with another guy at Netflix.
And he told stories about how if the government wanted to really throw the book at you, they got the U.S. Postal Service and the Internal Revenue Service and the Treasury Department involved. Because if they could get them to say, yeah, he's done this, it's like, oh boy, you're done.
Yep.
Been nice knowing you.
Yep. Yeah. Yeah, things that define Renamon aside from the color are the gloves.
Yep, which I'm putting in.
Yeah.
The gloves, the markings.
And usually being featured in certain kinds of art.
Yeah, which is kind of funny because
the eye mark, yeah. But yeah, in certain kinds of art because it's I don't know who shows up in more naughty Pokemon art. Vulpix or Renamon?
Probably
Renamon.
Well, this is Digimon. This is not Pokemon.
Digimon, Renamon, Pokemon. What's the difference?
No. My wife is seriously into Pokemon Go.
Oh yeah.
And so we do not accidentally cross our properties.
Yeah. Do not cross the streams.
Exactly.
Yep.
In fact, she went out for a raid today, if I remember correctly.
Crystal's pretty far up there, but she's not a Mon.
No.
Yeah.
Now, of course, actually, if it's Crystal from Star Fox,
yeah.
McClaw has another piece involving her that I need to get around to. This was actually last month, and I need to get around to finishing this for him. So that's why I'm doing it. That's one of the advantages about doing these streams is I can get online, I can let people watch me do art, and I can fulfill my Patreon rewards at the same time.
Yep, exactly.
Win-win. And my patrons can actually see that, yeah, I'm on the clock working for them.
And you see him here, the mighty, mighty Muffin. When he's here, he's going to ask you something about everything you like.
Yes, he's here. The Muffin is in the studio. So I have to ask, Muffin, how did the job, if you don't mind me asking, how did the job interview go?
Are you a weatherman yet?
Yeah, are you a real weatherman? You get to stand in front of a green screen and point things off camera. You can't actually see, but pray that they're actually putting the right stuff up.
I think he wants to be a meteorologist, not a weatherman.
Right, this is true.
Yeah.
This is true. There is a difference, a big difference.
Yeah.
I know he's going to be doing storm chasing this summer, apparently.
Yeah. Go find yourself an F5.
Yeah, and then don't get sucked into it.
When I was 4, I was born in Kansas City. My dad was finishing his career in the Navy. Yes, in Kansas.
In the Navy.
That's Naval Air Station Olathe, as an instructor. That was where they did a lot of pilot training there. And I am told that one day the sirens went off. And everybody was, going into their storm cellars and stuff. And I ran outside and watched as the tornado came by and picked up about 200 yards away went up and over and jumped over our house and went down into the fields about another 203 yards away, while everybody's like, where'd Lance go? Did he get sucked into the tornado? No, he didn't get sucked into the tornado. You're not that lucky. Shortly after we moved to California. The Midwest. The Midwest has tornadoes, and they worry about earthquakes.
Well, there's a reason why to be quite blunt. They call it God's country because from talking to Brenda, who lived in Nebraska, she says, "Yeah, we have Old Testament God living around here. He's really big on that smiting thing."
Exactly. The finger comes down and it looks like an F5 tornado. And
Yeah.
Thou shalt not do. Oh, this is great. Back in the late 1980s. California gets tornadoes, maybe a dozen a year, and they're.
Is this the one in Sunnyvale?
The one in
Sunnyvale.
The one in Sunnyvale. It touched down and damaged exactly 2 buildings in Sunnyvale. They were both churches.
Yeah.
Make of that what you will.
Yes.
People who attempt to ascribe meaning towards natural weather phenomena.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, well, so hopefully, Mighty, you're going to get to both of them, and you'll be able to choose.
Yeah, and admittedly, Mighty's had for a person who loves and has studied the weather. He's lived in a place that's had lots and lots of weather.
Yep.
Nor'easters, by the week almost.
Yep. Yes, yeah. My dad was born in Minot, in North Dakota, and my mother's family used to live just south of the Canadian border during Prohibition.
And I guess how they made money.
Yeah. Well, they were corn farmers, but
right.
But they also decided they were going to become rum runners, as it were. And my grandmother, who was in her early 20s at the time, would get in the truck and drive north of the border, load up with a few cases of Canadian whiskey, and drive back south, because the customs guys and the border guards would not mess with the women. If you did, you ended up face down in a ditch. To hell with your badge. And so they were basically whiskey smugglers. And then after to supplement their income, and then after a couple of years of that, they realized we grow corn. And it turned out my grandmother had a talent for being able to make white lightning that didn't kill you.
Well, that's good.
Yeah. So my grandmother was a rum runner and a moonshiner.
That's a good talent, actually.
Yep. So my grandmother, the rum runner and the moonshiner, and she was very definitely the matriarch of the family, no question about it. So yeah, that's a colorful family.
Very colorful.
Now, saying Robocop, before we got an update for you, no, another time. Stop, Microsoft, go away.
So for one more hour, can you leave us alone?
Yeah.
I love how this thing, it doesn't do it when we start the computer at the day you're doing all the checkouts and everything. No, it doesn't ask for an update then. It asks for an update about halfway through a stream. Really, guys?
Well, that's when the computer's on, but yeah.
Really, guys?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. Actually, Mighty, I think you asked me that. You asked us that once. But let's see. The first R-rated movie I've ever seen. I don't remember exactly which one it was.
I do.
Yeah. Let me guess. Alien.
Yeah.
That's right. That's the one you snuck into.
Yeah, we snuck in when I was like 13 years old and watched Alien. And oh boy, I'm going to watch an R-rated movie. It's a science fiction movie. This will be kind of cool. And then we all left the theater very, very quietly. And then we all went home.
Yep.
And I got home, and it was just by luck. It was one of those weekends when all the family was out of the house.
Yep.
And I was left at this dark house all by myself. And I went through every room, and I turned on every light. Yep. And I looked up, because people weren't looking up in the movie. And I figured that out from the movie. Yep. Look up.
Yep.
And I looked up on the ceiling on everything before I went to bed.
Yeah.
And it didn't affect me at all.
No, it didn't affect your brain.
Nope, not at all.
No HR Giger for you.
Nope. Totally normal kid.
Yeah. Yeah, McClaw, I'm actually probably going to go into the registry and turn it off. On both of these machines, it's Windows 10 Home Edition. Yeah, it's because it's $89 instead of $140. But yeah. Let's see. Yeah, I don't recall exactly which one. It was like some other stupid movie or another. Let's see. I would have been, that would have been 19.
Like I said, we snuck in. We like slipped in the back and everything. We were being so punk.
Yeah, so it would have been about 1980. I don't recall. It must not have been very
Memorable.
Saturn 3.
Oh,
I think it was Saturn 3, and God, it was awful.
That was
It's like,
Farrah
oh, you're
Fawcett.
gonna get to see Farrah Fawcett's boobs. It wasn't even that good boobs.
Yeah.
It was an awful movie. Cause it's just the red robot wants to have sex with Farrah Fawcett. Yeah, okay, fine. It was just terrible. But I think that may have been it.
Okay. Yeah. No.
Yeah. It was a very silly film. Yes, it was.
Well, see, the whole thing for me was that I'd seen Close Encounters of the Third Kind. I had seen Star Wars, and I was going, okay, this is going to be a movie with aliens in it, but it's rated R. Oh, I bet you it's going to be really, really cool. But I had this Star Wars, Close Encounters of the Third Kind, and let's just say when the chest burster came out of John Hurt's chest, it wasn't a religious moment, but boy, howdy. It left a mark. And of course, I love the fact that Ridley Scott arranged that shot and he didn't tell anybody except Hurt what was going to happen.
Hello again, Mr. Lord Magic Pants. He says, oh, Lord, it's an Engel. Yes, it is.
Hey, hello, hello, hello.
Yes, rather. Oh, I see somebody else new. Mank Mill. Hello, Mank Mill. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Got a Bitfox. I think Bitfox has been here before, but
I think so.
Either way, welcome, welcome back. Pick your favorite. Looking at who else we got. Who else we got? Oh, I saw you earlier. Aha, you can't escape me. All right, I think those are some new folks, so we say hello to them.
Yes, greetings.
Yeah,
Yeah, I saw RoboCop in college.
I say, yeah, I'm not squeamish, but I did not like the shotgun scene.
Yeah. For me, it was the guy who got doused of all the chemicals at the end. I was like, ooh.
Yep. Saturn 3. Yeah, that would be the first R-rated film that I saw, like in 1980, because I was 17 then. Couldn't get in without. Yeah. Oh, Porky's. Oh, that was a bad film. My tit. You broke my tit. That was that was a
Oh, I remember Porky.
Yeah.
That
they made sequels of that. Why?
Yes, they did. John Carpenter's The Thing. Ah, okay. Yeah, that would be another one that'd be a pretty thing. And Zumi, it was Jaws. Yeah, Jaws it would be.
Yeah. Chess, checkers, backgammon, which is my best. I was president of the high school chess club, and let me tell you, that got all the dates.
Yep. I'd have to say I didn't see Jaws in the theater. I saw Jaws on TV, which of course meant it was massively edited. But you have to understand that up that point, I had been watching all the wonderful world of Jacques Cousteau, and
this is the strange thing under the sea.
Yes, and this was not Jacques Cousteau.
No. I'm gonna need a bigger boat. That line was ad-libbed, by the way.
Yes, the only thing out of that was it made me do research on what the heck was the USS Indianapolis. Like that, I found out, I was like, oh, I understand some of the motivations of one of the character now.
A little bit, yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
And to this day, they've never been able to determine why that happened.
Yeah. Yeah, so chess sort of is a family thing in that one of my uncles, my second favorite uncle, had an international master rating.
Oh.
He was the champion chess player of Ford Motor Company.
Okay.
But yeah, he actually
wait. Ford Motor Company actually had a chess team?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay.
Well, they had a chess club.
Okay.
But yeah, he had an international master rating.
Okay.
And held it for several years. My dad was pretty good too.
So your dad was an officer and he was in the Navy. Did he play pinochle?
No, he played bridge.
Oh, sorry, bridge.
He played bridge. He cheated at bridge. I told you about the Admiral Halsey story before.
Yeah, because apparently it was required if you're an officer in the U.S. Navy,
Right.
You had to play bridge.
And if you're enlisted, you have to play AC-Deucey, which is a variant of backgammon.
Right.
Yeah. So.
All these interesting traditions we form.
Yeah. Yeah.
Show me the way to go home. I'm tired and I want to go to bed. I had a little drink about an hour ago when it went right to my head. So wherever I may roam, on land or sea or foam, you can always hear me singing this song. Show me the way to go home.
That's Nozumi's fault. She triggered me.
Okay, we'll blame Nozumi on that one.
Yeah.
It's your fault, Nozumi.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. There was a record album, the Four Sergeants Body Barracks Ballads, which I found.
No, Jaws 2 and Sharknado were a joke compared to the original Jaws. And Sharknado was a certain amount of, we're just going to do this. We don't think this is going to, oh my God, it turned into a hit.
Yep. Nozumi. Well, just as a side thing, Nozumi, I'm assuming she. Correct me if I'm wrong. I don't know.
Yes, it is a she.
Perfect.
It is a she.
Perfect.
She at least she's always
Just based totally on name.
voiced on has a female voice.
Still there.
She's supposed to be like a ninja of sorts.
Yeah,
What little I know of the character, and this is very much this kind of practical, pragmatic individual. And then people turn around and do all kinds of unusual things with her.
So now the question is, what's the most quotable movie that you actually use quotes from? It's anything to do with Monty Python.
Probably.
Yeah. I even have a couple of folks like Brian will elbow me for it. It's like, oh, you've been triggered again. Yep. Yeah, probably if I had to pick one movie in particular, it would probably be Holy Grail.
Yep.
Or Life of Brian is a close second.
Holy Grail for me.
Yeah. Well, how many quotes? How many movies? Well, they didn't make a lot of them, but they're all very quotable. I mean, Life of Brian.
Meaning of Life.
Meaning of Life. I'm still using it.
Yeah.
If we hold it up. But again, Monty Python and Holy Grail still has to be. That's number one. I mean, that is the most. Most quotable. Again, Blues Brothers is high on the list.
Yeah, I'll say Foxfire is correct. I hate Illinois Nazis.
Yep. Yeah, Holy Grail is most annoying because of forced overexposure. Yeah, that will tend to overshadow what the actual original material is if somebody's putting it down your throat.
Yep.
Which is a sometimes legitimate complaint about people, talking about that show that we like.
Mm-hmm.
There are some people that you gotta see this, you gotta see this. This isn't religion. You don't get points for converting people to the true way.
Yep.
Unless, of course, you're converting them to the true way of Celestia's best princess.
Well,
then it's okay.
Yeah, that's all right. It's for a just cause.
Yeah, exactly. Digimon are canonically neuter. Well,
Yep.
no, they can still be taught.
Yeah.
Yeah. Randomized parts based on Japanese cartoons on ninja feats, and only Germany gives her a male voice actor in dub. Well, Germany is very R63.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm a beautiful flower. Firefly ruined because people insisting on it. Yeah. Well, there are Joss Whedon fans and there are Joss Whedon fanatics. Of course, that's where the word fans comes from, is fanatic here.
Yep.
And again, it's like, slow down.
Mm-hmm. Dial it back.
Yep.
I'm reminded of the song from 38 Special, Hold On Loosely.
Yep.
Hold on loosely, but don't lose control. If you try too much, you will. Yep.
Yep. That thing is huge. Yeah, I've heard that before too. Talking about my nose.
Of which we probably should do our final hourly responsibility.
You knows it.
That's right.
So you know what everybody here knows? They know
the drill.
They knows, who we got to say thank you to. So we're going to say thank you to University Art, a high-end art supply store. The thanks go to them for keeping Barron supplied in art supplies, because that's what they do.
Yes, they do.
They also have a top-rate, museum-grade framing shop. They have knowledgeable sales staff who are all artists themselves, but they're not on commission, so they don't end up selling you stuff that's way too expensive. They sell you the right thing. What a concept. They have demonstrations, they have workshops, they have craft fairs, they have the whole shebang. It's a community, not just a set of 3 stores. Where the hell are those stores? Those stores are in Sacramento, Redwood City, and San Jose, California. Speaking of their talented artist sales folk, they occasionally loan us some of them, like Jeff and Jaya.
Well, Jaya's now actually.
Yeah, she's former, but yeah.
She's now out on her own like me.
Yeah, exactly. So next time you see Jaya's art, you go and you drop $1 in her tip jar because she needs it, and she deserves it. So anyway, we want to say thank you to them for putting up with Baron for 20 years. Patience of Saints. And aside from that, then, that is our final duty of the night. Thank you, Mike. Thank you, Jeff. We see you lurking there. Ha 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 ha. You thought you could escape us. But no.
And Jaya's show up in San Francisco, or sorry, Sacramento, went very, very well for her.
Excellent.
Yes, it had good turnout apparently for it. I don't know how sales of pieces went for her, but it was apparently a good audience.
Yeah, TL University Art is regional, Northern California only.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, as I said, office branches in Redwood City, San Jose, and Sacramento, California.
Yeah.
Sacramento, the biggest city in California that has no culture of its own. It's a place. Yeah. But yeah, that's right. The Jaya's show did go very well.
Yes.
She pole dances for exercise and and just for the feeling of empowerment. And she gave her very first ever public performance, which is a big thing because a lot of people they're afraid that they'll get judged or we know what kind of person you are. It's like, oh no, you do not do that to Jaya. No. She will make you eat those, 8-inch spikes.
Yes. Going back to Mighty Muffins, what's the hardest poses you have done? I would have to say, and the reason why I've done them is the yoga poses and the musician poses. And the musician poses because if you want to learn how to draw hands really good, study musicians because they do horrible things to their hands in the commitment to making artwork.
Yep. And yoga, of course, is because their tendons are not natural.
Yes. But especially if you're doing yoga with 2 people interacting. Because then you got to get the interaction between the 2 individuals down correctly as far as the weight and the balance and the movement figures.
And all the bulk of the figure drawing and all that you've done is kind of sort of how, it's not exactly not applicable, but you're certainly into alien land. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So the MLP yoga and the the thing with flying fingers with Sweetie Belle and Scootaloo and Apple Bloom and Anthro playing musical instruments. I've done that to get better at drawing hands. That was something I was weak at. Now I'm better at. That's why I did it.
Yeah. So the follow-up was what's the hardest thing to get right in Anthro and Pony anatomy? Structural. Well, so certainly on ponies, I say for a while you were learning and struggling with with how the hooves attach, and the ankles and all of that attached to the rest of the legs, and the proportions. Like yes, there's a part of horses, hooves, the shank right above the hoof is very skinny. It doesn't look right.
Yeah,
but it is.
And you want to make it thicker, and you look at this horse and go, "There's no way this horse could possibly have an ankle this small." It does.
Yeah, those particular bones are solid.
Yeah,
it's just basically a lump of calcium
and a whole bunch of just tendons and ligaments and not much else.
Yep. Well, again, it's like say here, there's no muscles in your hands. All the muscles to move your fingers are up here. The horses, it's even more remote.
Yep. Well, especially because basically a horse is walking on the tip of its finger. And what a lot of people think of is the elbow is actually the wrist of the horse or the pony.
Yeah, they're kind of like you're way down, just like here's the hoof right at the very end of the. Yeah, they're ballerinas.
Yeah.
Let's see. I think I see a new person.
Oh.
Or not. Mr. Mittens, 123. Have you been here before? I think you've been here before, but just in case I'm saying hello and welcome. Otherwise, I'm saying welcome back. So
yes.
We'll edit that one out. It's redacted. Anybody else? Looking.
One of the things was actually also learning how to get good integration between the shoulder and the leg on like Pegasus and Griffins here. One of the things I notice a lot of people do with winged, basically six-limbed characters, they put the wings basically here behind the shoulder. The problem with that is that if you watch a bird when it flies or a bat when it flies, it has to be able to swing its arms forward. It's basically swimming through the air. It's not just going up and down. It's actually this forward and back motion. So if you have them back here, it's hard to get that. So I basically put forward here like it would be on a bird and basically kind of make it like this multi-jointed shoulder blade.
Yeah. Oh, the other thing to remember is where are the bird's flight muscles? It's the breast meat, you know,
Exactly.
et cetera. It's anchored to the chest, which means that the muscles have to be able to travel, you know, not going over anything. But but again, with a hexapod, how are you going to do that? And so there is no right way.
Yeah. And I want to say hello to Dr. Hooves because he says this is his first time here. Welcome to the stream.
Oh, well, hello.
We're on the last hour. We're going to wrap this up at 9:30. We do this every other Saturday night.
Did not realize you were new because I've been seeing you throughout the show, and you know, so welcome in retrospect.
Yes, we do this every Saturday starting at 5:30 Pacific. If you follow me on DeviantArt, if you follow me on Twitter, or if you become a follower on Picardo, you'll get notification when this is going to be happening.
Yeah, there's somebody that does anatomical studies of you know, how a Pegasus, you know, might work. I'll have to look those up for next stream because they were really good.
If you go to Animal Anatomy, the group on DeviantArt, there are several people who've done some actually very good, thoughtful. It's like, hi, I have a degree.
This one was MLP specific.
Okay, they done because they have done Pegasus, and it was very interesting because the one guy, one lady who does it actually has a degree in zoology. So it's like, you know, here's from a zoologist standpoint, if you're going to do this fictional critter, how might it work? And it gets kind of interesting, actually.
Yeah, that's some pretty crazy stuff. I thought I saw somebody else. Did you escape from me? Or did I see you? Where else are you?
Well, it goes to remember too, the center of lift and center of gravity, it's where in the stroke does the lift generate too.
Yeah.
It's not just that, you know, because the lift may generate back here, which might be much, my arm's probably not in camera, but it's back here, more closer to the center of gravity.
Yep.
No, it's every other Saturday. So basically our next stream probably will be on April 28th.
Yep. Yeah, we had, and once in a while it'll either get interrupted or it'll be offset a week.
Because of conventions.
Right, and we'll let you know 3-4 weeks in advance. But the best thing to do is you follow Baron on Twitter, and he will tweet all the stuff. Well, he tweets what he eats. You'll see lots and lots of art. You'll see art tips, and oh yes, the show schedule. Yeah.
Usually, what I do is I put an announcement up on Wednesday, the week of a stream, to let people know, and then Saturday morning of the stream, I make another announcement just to remind folks, and then you get one more announcement like 1 hour before the actual stream starts.
Yep. Yeah, and if nothing else, you'll sometimes see stuff that doesn't show up in the slideshow because, like this week, Baron had 13 pieces, and we don't want it to generally go more than that because, well, it'll take forever. But he makes a lot more stuff than shows up in the stream.
Or the case of one woman going up tomorrow, I did some work as Patreon rewards that, to be completely blunt, you couldn't stick enough Big Mac plushies on it to make it acceptable. We do have basically a thing if I make the stream available to all audiences. So there is some stuff that I do that I don't show here on the show because it just wouldn't meet that criteria.
Yep, generic, that's the one that teaches you the proper meaning of anatomically correct. Yeah, believe it or not, it applies to something other than that. Yeah, I know most people, it's like, oh, no, it only means like,
No.
Yeah, it means that the hand here, you notice that, you know, my finger at the end there, it tilts back up when it's normal instead of being absolutely straight on top because that's anatomically correct.
Well, it's also interesting how certain things collapsed and converged because if you look at the early vertebrae, especially like amphibians and everything, nature played around with all kinds of ideas like 10 fingers and 8 fingers, but everything is more or less kind of collapsed down to 5. Even if nowadays, like a horse, you can't see the toes, they more or less have, once upon a time they had 5, and they've all kind of merged into the.
Yep. Well, again, nature understands cost-benefit ratios.
Exactly.
They know how to min-max.
Well, yeah, nature is 500 million plus years of prog testing.
Yep.
A lot of legacy built into that, but a lot of prog testing at the same time.
I didn't think I saw someone post one of those pieces once on Twitter. Yeah. Did give me credit, though. Yeah. Griffin anatomy is a lot simpler than trying to figure out, say, tauran internal anatomy.
Oh, yeah.
Centaurs.
Oh, yeah.
Exactly. Everybody just says, "Oh, it's a big ball joint there," at the base of the, okay.
No. Yeah. All kinds
or depending on how you do it, but it's just what it comes down to is people. There is no right way. Well, that's not how a centaur looks. Really?
You show me a real one.
Yeah.
Yeah, but all kinds of interesting questions about pumping blood and
Where are the lungs actually located? Where's the stomach actually located?
Mm-hmm. Or do they have secondary systems?
Yeah. Yeah, hell yeah. Where do you put the lungs?
Well, I keep them in my pocket.
Yeah.
And then I make haggis out of them.
Yeah. Now it's one of those things that it doesn't bear examination.
Yeah.
And you have 12 minutes in case you were wondering.
That's what I was just checking there.
Yep.
And now we're getting to the point in the evening, because we have that window open there, where the lamps actually feel good.
Yep, exactly. Would you like me to close the window?
Yes, please, if you would.
I will close the window, because the air outside is cold, but we're still pumping it in.
Yeah.
1 second.
Yeah. We're actually, considering how billowed that curtain is, we're pumping it in. Don't think it's required. It's one of the things that's kind of amusing is we turn on the AC in this studio about an hour before we go live to cool this down. You'll come in here and I'll do this initial setup of the computers and everything, and it's actually kind of a bit chilly. But within about 20 minutes of turning on all the lights and turning on all the computers, it's like, oh no, suddenly that air conditioning feels good.
There we go.
Yeah. So let's just wandered off to the lamps are handy. Yes, TL Dragon, that'd be nailed it. Yeah.
Okay.
Now I know folks really, really love my bird wings and everything, but one of the things I'm actually doing this year is spending a bit more time really going in and researching my bird wing construction.
Yep. Yeah. So, what would you say is little difficult to parse that, Matty.
Mm-hmm. What do you say there between your Yeah, any rephrasing of that one.
Yep. Yeah. Well, folks who haven't heard of Eugene Aronhouse, for a while he was. I don't know if he's still drawing much, but he was one of the top tier furry artists as far as realistic styling, etc. Eric Elliott did some drawings of like werewolf anatomy and stuff like that, and the musculature, the skeletal structures, etc. How how you can have a bipedal character with digigrade legs and make it work so that they aren't falling backwards all the time, but you're not constantly under tension with the with the tendons, etc., etc., etc.
Yeah, actually, one of the things I consider as kind of an honor of Eugene was that he actually came over to the U.S. at one point, and he kind of specifically seeked me out and said, "I would like to do an art trade with you because I consider your work something having." It's like, thank you.
Yeah. Yeah, Eugene's hardcore in his own way. He lives in Haifa.
Mm-hmm.
So one time's like, you okay? Says, yeah, the shelling's at least 10 miles away.
Yeah.
You guys are hardcore.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
but Eugene's good people.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I did some illustration for werewolf publication games and everything like that back in the 90s, back when you couldn't go to a convention and not swing a dead cat and hit a werewolf fan.
Yeah.
It was
I played the game a little bit. Yeah.
I played the game a couple times.
It was okay. The best part of it, though, was started by the company, and Werewolf the Apocalypse and all that was started by a guy named Mark Reinhagen.
Mm-hmm.
And for him it was, an expression of his personal spirituality, etc. That's fine. But everybody else that worked for him was like, "You're taking this way too seriously, mister." I ended up actually pretty good friends with a fellow named Sam Chupp, who wrote a lot of the. He was sort of one of the guys in the second tier of of the writers that work for it and all that. And just as a grin and giggle, okay. Again, this is werewolf stuff, silver bullets, the whole bit. I bought a bunch of 30 caliber, boat tail Spitzer, bullets, that had been, they're made of solid silver. And Steve Galacci made them. He used to cast bullets there. And put them in a tumbler and shined them up. And I loaded them into some 30-06 ammunition because I used to do hand loading. And it was workable ammunition, the whole bit. And I engraved the names of all of the senior writers of the Werewolf the Apocalypse game, each one on their own bullet. Got a bullet with silver bullet with your name on it. And I sent them to Sam because I knew that he and the others would think it was funny. Couldn't do that today. You do that today, you're a terrorist. Like, no, it's a joke. Sit down, shut up. And so I mailed them all. Again, working 30-06 ammunition. Yes, it's safe to mail. People mail stuff like that all the time. With all the senior writers with their names on a silver bullet, for the werewolf game, and they all loved them. Kept them on their desks, the whole bit, except for Ryan Hagen. That isn't funny. We don't care if you think it's funny.
Okay, so Mighty Muffin's question is, what's my our plans for the next couple of weeks? Well, for me, lots of work in the studio this week.
I want to kill off their player characters, but I keep failing.
Yeah, I mean, I because doing taxes and doing BabsCon kind of knocked things into a cocked hat, so I need to get back on production, get things done.
Yep. So I still have to finish my taxes. I'll just do that online.
Apparently, you have until Tuesday this week to file.
Still 17th. Yep. And because I'm going to owe a little bit of money so they can get it later. So there's that. I'm starting work up again on Isotopes of Harmony.
Oh, cool. Okay.
And you guys we're going to be probably finishing up this particular adventure. Unless I kill you all, in which case I'm off the hook.
New characters.
Yeah, there we go. And which means that I need to try and get a couple of weeks ahead of you guys. It's like, okay, which way are you guys likely to jump? So yeah, it's going to be a lot of game writing, and RSA, biggest information security convention of the year. It's in Moscone Center, and so I'm going to be attending that on behalf of my company. And trying not to get mugged, because the area around Moscone has become really dicey. But actually, a game developers conference. It's a bunch of people. They're telling game developers conference, get out of Moscone. We don't like the neighborhood.
Yeah. Yeah, I saw some headlines about that.
So
basically get back on schedule, get back on production. Of course, I was deliberately not. I'm starting to get a little bit attached to Cedric. I purposely did the whole thing of until you get to level 3.
Yep.
Your character is kind of like.
Be nice to your character.
Well, in most cases, don't get too attached to your character. Now that we've hit level 3, it's like, okay, now I have a bit more of a vested stake in Cedric. I'm gonna work. It's like new. Of course, he's gotten his arrow back too from Kevlar.
Yep.
Kevlar. I'm calling Kevlar.
Yeah. Probably instead of searching for anatomy, use the word physiology. I think you'll have better luck. We're teasing Sura, but yeah, at low levels, D&D characters traditionally are fairly fragile.
Yeah.
And they did push it a little hard in one of the first scenarios, but
yeah, we came really close.
Good night, Andy.
We came really close a couple of times where it's like, good night, Andy. You have a great weekend. We really didn't know, and I didn't want to get too attached to a character because it's like, this is my first time playing.
Don't name your kids till they're 5.
This was my first time really playing D&D. I played RuneQuest in college, so this is my first dive into D&D.
Yep.
5th edition is so much nicer.
Yeah, and all teasing aside, I am a fairly forgiving game master.
Yeah, he's not.
If
He's not
crass
quite.
stupidity or basically players saying, "Oh, I know you won't kill us," it's like, "Oh, it's on."
Yeah.
But but otherwise, you know, I understand that people do get attached to their characters, and deliberately wiping out somebody's character when you know they're attached to them, that's just a dick move.
Yep.
I try not to make dick moves.
All right, it is 8:27 here. I think we should maybe want to switch cameras here because I'm probably gonna need to. I got like another 10 or 15 minutes of shading on this.
No, I am not going to throw the deck of many things into my campaign. Because the deck
Oh,
of many things breaks
yeah.
campaigns.
Yes.
No.
Yeah, we don't play that.
Yeah.
We don't play that game.
Yeah. Well, say Gray was into the area of making death saves, but the thing about D&D 5th edition, death saves, you know, you have 4 rounds, and if just one person can get to you for 1 round, they can stabilize you. You're not going to die.
And I could have run over a medicine and gone.
Right. Yeah. Exactly. But no, Gray is the tank. You know,
Yeah.
say he is the fighter who decided to go sword and shield instead of archery or something like that. So he's the one that beats up all the time.
Yeah. And unfortunately, we have an M551 Sheridan tank instead of an M1 Abram at the moment.
Yeah, pretty much. Poor bastard, you're a Sherman.
So I want to thank everyone who has tuned in tonight, especially all the new people. I hope you've enjoyed.
Quite a few of you.
Yeah, quite a few of you. And I hope you guys enjoyed the evening and everything. And I hope you come back in 2 weeks. And once again to all my patrons on Patreon, I want to thank you guys because without you, this wouldn't be happening. So we'll see you all on the 28th, I believe, is our next stream.
Absolutely, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So
And
unless you decide to do something sooner. Oh, when's Smudge's next stream?
her next stream should be next Friday night. All things depending upon her health and everything. She is going through some stuff.
It's allergy season.
Well, we're also wondering if there might be something a little more deeply seated. We actually have an appointment this week to maybe run some additional tests and everything like that and see what's going on. But hopefully we're gonna she'll be on Friday night, and I'll be sitting kind of in the co-host stream.
Yep.
It's not as big of a production as this is, but we're kind of building and shaping, and of course a lot of questions on what she wants for her stream to be like and everything.
Right. Hers is a digital stream.
Exactly. So I want to thank you guys all. See you all in 2 weeks. And,
Alrighty. Catch you guys later.
Good night.
We're going to go eat some beef stew.
It smells really good.
Yes, it does. Good night, everybody. Good night.
Bye.